Pick her up 4:30 or so. Still got plenty of time, Megan. So what do you do? Just start out cold on the anthem? Okay. Introduce it. All right.
Early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it's the NFC Central Division battle between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Last year, the Packers had the worst rushing defense in the NFL. Last week, against the Chicago Bears, my, how they showed they've improved, stopping the great Walter Payton for an average of just over 2 yards per carry en route to a big victory. This week, once again, the Packers have their work cut out for them as they face one of the top young rookie rushers in professional football, Billy Sims, who had that great debut last week against the Los Angeles Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber along with Roger Staubach. Well, the Packers showed they could play defense last week. Now they need some offense.
They do. That's the name of the game. That's the story for today. The Packers have got to generate some offense. They've scored. They have not scored in 16 quarters. The last time was against Dallas in a preseason game. So they've got to generate some offense to win the football game and take some pressure off their defense.
The victory was a great one. How great? What did it mean to the team? We put that question to head coach Bart Starr.
Been a great deal, Frank. We had been under literally a siege for a number of weeks because we were having our problems. There was a great deal of pressure on the coaching staff, the players, everyone concerned, and so obviously it meant a great deal. We're not unaware that literally an act from above enabled us to win it, but we were still delighted to win.
The Lions, of course, shocked a lot of people, maybe not by beating the Rams, but how they beat them.
The Lions have people at the skilled positions. Danielson's back at quarterback, and Billy Sims and Bussey have given them great running duo in the backfield, along with Fred Scott as a receiver. They've got a fine offense. Bubba Baker's back on defense, so they're expecting a lot this year. They're going after it all.
And what did the victory against Los Angeles mean to Detroit? We put that question to head coach Monty Clark.
We suffered last year through a 2-14 season, and we hope that we can dramatically improve on that this year. We only won one in a row, but we feel good about our team, but very honestly, we have to find out a lot about ourselves. We have yet a lot to prove.
Green Bay Packers deploying for the opening kickoff here at County Stadium. Temperature in the 50s, the threat of rain in the air, 20% or so. It did rain early this morning, and the field is a little bit soggy down there. Notice you were talking to Bubba Baker before the game, and he said he was home during preseason practicing sacking the dog.
I asked Bubba if he had left training camp over money, or did he have a sick grandmother, and he just kind of laughed and said he was happy to be back, and I tell you, the Lions were happy to have him back.
Chester Markall ready to kick off, and the deep end, number 31, Ken Calicut, and number 32, Rick Kane for the Detroit Lions. Here we go from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Calicut back to the 15, 20, and stopped at the 25-yard line. So the Lions have put it in play, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Officials spot the ball just shy of the 25. Green Bay, of course, plays the 3-man front. Here's a look at the Detroit backfield. Dexter Bussey and Billy Sims, who both went over 100 yards against the Rams, coupled with Danielson. The Detroit receivers, they shuttle in plays using 2 wide receivers. Thompson wide to the right side. Freddie Scott is split to the left. Danielson calling the signals.
They're coming after him, Frank. They've got everybody in the line of scrimmage. Danielson wasn't sure. They had them all in the line of scrimmage. They backed off. They came back again. I'm sure Gary had an audible. He saw them back off and changed it, and again they came back. So there was confusion there. Green Bay gave them a blitz look, and it caused a timeout.
Here's the Detroit offensive line. This is a very young group, but keep in mind that Monty Clark made a reputation building an offensive line down in Miami. They've only got one man as much as 4 years experience in that offensive line. But how they blocked against the Rams.
They're back up. They're moving back and forward now. They're trying to shake things up, and Danielson's definitely audibling now.
1st and 15. Look at this. Pass is complete for the 1st down out to the 38-yard line as the pass reception upfield goes to Dexter Bussey.
That's what happens. Green Bay trying to confuse him. Danielson did audible, and if he would have got that off, Butler put pressure on him. If he would have got that play off and got it well, that could have been all the way on the first play.
So a 1st down for the Detroit Lions from their 38-yard line. Danielson back to throw, dumps it to Dexter Bussey. Bussey up to the 35, 40. Look at him fight his way across the 45 and stop near midfield. Dexter Bussey has another 1st down. One of the unsung running backs in the National Football League. What a great job this young man has done for the Lions down through the years.
Here's Danielson back. He's got Sims blocking to the out to the left. He has Bussey just laying out in the flat. He has the lineman pulling, so it's a pass out in the flat. They have linemen in front, so I'm sure that Danielson was going to Bussey all the way in that play with those linemen blocking in front of Bussey.
He flat ran over Johnny Gray, number 24 in the Packers secondary. Ball is at midfield. 2nd 1st down for the Lions in this opening drive. They send Scott in motion across the backfield. Danielson giving it to Bussey. They've stayed away from Billy Sims so far. He moves it into Green Bay's end of the field to the 48-yard line. A pick of 2, 2nd and 8. What do you think about all that jumping around by the Packers in the first couple
downs? Well, they're going to try to camouflage that. The 3-man front is a new defense for Green Bay. They've got 3 men down, 3 big linemen, 4 linebackers, and of course 4 people in the secondary. And they're trying to camouflage the blitz and confuse Detroit. It can work for you and it can work against you. And it got a timeout, but then they hit a big play on it. So they're 50-50 on it.
Mike Freedy, the rookie, wide to the right side. Here's Sims on his first carry of the afternoon, maybe a yard. But you can bet that Billy, the former Oklahoma All-American who averaged better than 7 yards per carry throughout his college career at OU and won the Heisman Trophy as a junior, will be a marked man. In fact, as I recall, there's probably, as you look at the Green Bay secondary, only one other man in this stadium who won the Heisman Trophy as a junior. Would you agree with that?
I think there is.
That's right.
One other.
He's probably sitting next to me. 3rd down, 7.
I wish I could run like Billy Sims here.
You never could. Danielson with good protection lets it go for Freddie Scott, and Scott makes the grab and goes out of bounds at the 9. 1st down, Detroit.
That's a nice play there. That's a real nice play, Frank. Scott they had the nickel defense in there, and he got man-to-man coverage. He was going to the middle of the field, then he broke it back out to the corner, and just made a great play, nice catch, and the ball was right on the money. Danielson put it right on the money. He's got Hill kind of going out to the flat, and then Scott breaking to the corner, and it's right on the money. 38 yards, and they're in good shape right now.
Lions have both Freedy and Scott in there. They're both wide to the left side of the line of scrimmage. First and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Bussey and Billy Sims back of Danielson. This is Sims to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. Pickup of 2. It'll be second and goal to go from the 7. Lions make their regular season home debut in the Silverdome next Sunday afternoon against the St. Louis Cardinals, and they're off to a great start.
You know, that long third down play was Mark Lee was in there for Green Bay, number 22. They're high on Mark. He's a second-round draft choice and has done a good job for him. He had a man-to-man good protection. It was a play that didn't work out too well, but Mark Lee's a fine defensive back for Green Bay.
Officials mark it at the 8. Second and goal to go. Dexter Bussey, 6-yard line. It'll be third and goal from the 6. Packer defense stiffens up. Why is it always you get inside the 10-yard line to get so much tougher?
Well, the end zone helps you. You're in tighter. Your secondary's in closer. They don't have as much to worry about, and it's just you get into a goal line defense also. You start playing gaps, and you change your philosophy. You blitz more down there, and you've got to run some play action passes and throw down there is probably the best way to get in the end zone. But with Sims and Bussey, they still want to try to run it in.
Brady and Scott wide to the right side. Third and goal from the 6. Danielson will put it up. He'll try to put it up, and he's sacked back at the 15.
Well, that's a nice play. Nice play by Ezra Johnson.
Big Ezra Johnson, number 90, former number 1 draft choice of the Green Bay Packers, as Green Bay gets his first sack of the quarterback and sets up a field goal situation for the Lions.
Here's Danielson's looking now. He's looking over to his left. He's looking. He's got Mike Hunt really stopped him from throwing to the left. He went back to the right, and by that time Ezra Johnson made a fine play. He saved a possible touchdown. I think Danielson was going back late to Hill over on the right side.
Murray, the rookie, Eddie Murray, will try a 32-yard field goal attempt. Hipple puts it down, and it's up. It's good. Boy, he's automatic. He hit a 52-yarder last week.
He's kicking well.
So, Detroit, after taking the opening kickoff, moves down the field. They lead Green Bay 3-0.
We looked at Celica, Accord, and Scirocco. But when we looked at this new Mazda 626, that's all it took.
Just one look. That's all it took. Yeah, just one look. That's all it took.
We really like the way this Mazda 626 performs, not to mention its great mileage. All at a price that makes it really worth looking at.
Yeah, the more you look, the more you like.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
Then one day...
This compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
60-yard drive, 9 plays for the Lions as Murray prepares to kick off. Well, watch this guy kick off. He puts him higher than just about anybody except maybe Mosley from Washington. Great hang time. Andra Thompson at the 3-yard line for Green Bay, out to the 15 and stopped at the 16-yard line. That's the value of having a place kicker who can hang that thing up there. Guy was so high on him last week. We were in New Orleans. Was Archie Manning, who watched him play at Tulane.
That's right. He's a fine kicker. It's been a positive thing for Detroit, along with Sims, some of these young players, and Murray's been right in the middle of the positive things in training camp this year. Of course, that high kick allows that specialty team, the kickoff coverage, to get down there, and that's the cause of the starting down the 15-yard line. Excellent coverage.
Officials have it marked at the 16 as you look over the Green Bay offensive lineup. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback. Eddie Lee Ivory and Atkins behind him, and they go to Ivory at the 20. After the 24-yard line, pickup of 8 on the first play from scrimmage, an exciting runner. All the publicity around Sims, you forget a guy like Eddie Lee Ivory, and this is really his rookie year because he was hurt last year in the very first game of the season on just his 4th carry and missed the entire year with a knee injury.
Yeah, that's a good play. Dickey's job on first down and 1st and 10 is look downfield. If you got someone open, take it. But don't try to throw an incompletion. Go to a running back. Go to something safe if you're not sure downfield. Get into a 2nd 5, 6. In this case, they're into a get 5 or 6 yards. In this case, they're into a 2nd 2.
James Lofton in motion across the backfield for the Green Bay Packers. Ivory picking up the first down and some more as he charges across the 30 out to the 32-yard line. Ken Fantetti, the middle linebacker of the Lions, making the stop. Packers' first down of the ball game. Detroit linebackers include Stan White, who is a newcomer this year from Baltimore. That is like having a coach in the field. He's been around a long time. There's the Detroit secondary. They've done some switching around there. Luther Bradley, who played cornerback last year, is now at safety. And Hunter has gone from safety to cornerback. 1st and 10. Packers ball at their 32. Andra Thompson in motion. Lynn Dickey, first pass of the day for Lofton. Threw it behind him. Back there defending was James Hunter, number 28.
He sent Thompson in motion going the other way. He got man-to-man coverage and Lofton over here, and he drilled it in there, released it well, but it was behind him.
2nd and 10. Packers ball at their 32-yard line. Packers have had unusual success as you look at other scores. Here in County Stadium, despite the fact they've won only 40% of their games in Green Bay in the last decade, they're almost 70% here at County Stadium. 120, lost 9, tied a couple. Ivory. Hunter up on him. He got away from Hunter and took it out to the 33-yard line. Short yardage picked up on the play. John Woodcock, number 77, making the stop for Detroit. 100th meeting between these two teams. That goes back a lot of years. Both teams send in plays from the bench. Zeke Bratkowski and Bart Starr collaborate on the play selection for the Packers. And Bob Schnelker, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, who's up in the press box, calls him for Detroit when they're on the field. 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation. Dickey picks up the first down. Oh, you talk about threading the needle. He just did that to Ron Cassidy.
That was a good job by Dickey. He pumped once. He had a little trouble. Didn't see what he wanted the first time. Stepped back up in the pocket, moved to his right. Put it in there. Nice catch.
14-yard pickup, a first down at the Green Bay 46. That shotgun look familiar?
That's a good formation. I've seen that before.
I imagine. Several teams have picked it up around the league. Buffalo plays a little shotgun now. Packers on the move. They trail 3-0 in the first period. Andra Thompson in motion. Dickey giving to Atkins, and Atkins plows forward to the 49 for a pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards in the play. Ken Fantetti, number 57, the middle linebacker, makes the stop. If the shotgun is that good a formation, why haven't other teams jumped in and started using it?
It's a complete change in philosophy. It requires a lot of work. It's something new, and teams are gradually trying to see what the track record is around the league, and Dallas has been using it. It's been successful. So it's Buffalo's used a little bit, Seattle's used it some, and now Green Bay. So it might catch on with other teams, but it takes work, it takes time, and you want to see the results other teams have.
Takes a pretty good quarterback, too, I would say. Atkins into Detroit's end of the field to the 46, and we get our first flag of the afternoon. May have been a late hit on the Lions. This telecast is presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League is prohibited. Walk-off upcoming against Detroit.
One of the advantages of the shotgun. The quarterback gets back a little bit quicker. He can stand there, look downfield, see what's going on. You can pretty much read a blitz from either side. So there's
face mask, number 20, defense, first down.
So there's some advantages to it. Also, the receivers usually get up closer to the line of scrimmage and are into the pass patterns quicker from the shotgun.
Face mask penalty against the Lions gives the Packers an automatic first down at the Detroit 42-yard line. Lofton wide to the left side. Thompson again in motion across the backfield for the Green Bay Packers. Nice fake by Lynn Dickey. Boy, nothing but white shirts surrounding James Lofton, and Dickey tried to drop it in there, and that was very, very dangerous. Dan White was back there with him.
Lofton was running the deep curl-in pattern. The cornerback came up. James Hunter, Jimmy Allen went back. Hunter had a short zone. Allen had the deep zone, and Stan White just backpedaled, looked straight at Dickey, and he's the one almost made the interception. He was right where he should be, in front of any turn-in route in his area.
2nd and 10. Dickey sending Lofton wide to the left side at the bottom of your screen. Thompson to the right up at the top. Dickey back to throw it. His team trailing 3-0. He's pressured. He throws it away. Couldn't find anybody.
He's looking for Lofton all the way. He was going to hit Lofton. They had him inside and out. Detroit had Lofton covered, and Dickey was going to get in there one way or the other, and it was just no way to do it that time.
You talk about somebody who's been through the wars, Dickey.
Yeah, he has. He's a candidate for MASH. He's been through a lot of injuries. And once you make up your mind to fire it into a receiver, some defenses will take it away, and you have to go to somebody else.
3rd and 10. Packers at the 42-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Still in the first period. Green Bay trailing 3-0. Incomplete. The pass on the near sidelines. Intended for number 89, Andre Thompson.
They bring Ray Oldham in as the extra back on 3rd down. They take out a linebacker, and Ray Oldham comes in, and he was man-to-man that time on the back, and they also had Lofton double-team downfield.
Beverly comes in to do the punting. John Arnold is deep. And Calicut is the short man. 4th and 10. From this distance, you would look for Beverly to be angling it toward one of the sidelines, trying to put it out of bounds and stick the Lions with poor field position. Kicks it to the near sideline. Short, not nearly as deep as he'd like it, quite obviously. Will go out of bounds somewhere around the 25. Beverly is a little disappointed out about that. Timeout, 6:44 left to play in the opening period. Detroit leads Green Bay 3-0.
Excuse me. I'm not the same crazy coach who used to storm around the sidelines yelling at the officials. I've learned to relax, and I drink light beer from Miller. Do you know that light's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer? And listen to this. Light doesn't fill me up. Besides that, light tastes fantastic. Oh, sure, there are a lot of other beers around, and you can drink any one you want. But let me tell you this.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
As I was saying, I don't care what anybody else...
We're doing something about it. We're working at making our energy last.
Sunoco wants to make every drop count for America. That's why we have a new pump for unleaded gas. It has 4 grades of unleaded, including economy, priced below our regular, which can save money for you and fuel for America.
We're doing something about it. Sunoco is making every drop count.
Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Hilmer Kenty defends his WBA lightweight title against ex-champion Ernesto España. You'll say you saw it on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Bears' Bob Thomas has put Chicago on the scoreboard with a 37-yard field goal, so their score is the same as ours. Detroit leading Green Bay 3-0 here. Midway in the first period, 1st and 10 Lions from their 21. Billy Sims again caught at the line of scrimmage. Mike Hunt, number 55, the Green Bay linebacker, making the hit.
Charles Johnson did a good job that time. He's the nose guard, the man in the middle, and is really the a key man in that three-man front to stop the running game. And they're keen on Billy Sims, I'm sure, but someone like Dexter Bussey, Bussey ran for over 100 yards last week, will complement Sims real well.
Those two backs were the first two to run for over 100 yards since the Lions' first year in existence back in 1934. Here's Sims going outside. Across the 30 up to the 31. Looks like he's just a little bit short of the first down, but got close to 10 on the play. And again, Hunt, number 55, moving up on the play to make the stop.
Here's Sims. He's number 20 getting the pitch out. He's got Russ Bollinger is leading for him. He gets to the outside. He's got the speed to get the outside. Mike Hunt is a little bit late. But Sims has got that speed. He's got that quickness. He can make that dip inside and get back to the outside with a guard leading, and he got 7 yards in the play.
3rd down and 1. Packers, of course, need that swarming type defense they had against Peyton to stop him. Sims going the other way. He did not make the first down, and there's a flag down. A marker is down on the play. I think they're looking for him. Let's see what the call is here. Referee is Bob Frederick.
Looked like it was against Detroit. It was thrown there at the point of attack. Either Bussey or the wide receiver was coming back and looked like a crackback on somebody.
Steve Luke of the Packers talking it over with Frederick. I don't believe he made the yardage for the first down.
Offensive holding, number 80, refused. 4th down.
Well, the Packers refused the penalty and set up the punting situation. Penalty was against Ulysses Norris, tight end who was in there on that play. Tom Skladany comes in to do the punting. In front of Ron Cassidy, and is down by the Lions at the 31-yard line. Cassidy, number 88, was the safety man back there. 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the first period here at Milwaukee County Stadium. The Lions lead the Packers 3-0.
For years, the needs of the European driver have been defined by the roads, which are small, and the price of gas, which is large. And Ford has been there. For over 50 years, we've been building small cars in Europe. Today, when America needs high-quality small cars, the incredible world of Ford is working to meet that need, building a new generation of cars with world-class technology right here in America.
If you could see tomorrow.
Tomorrow arrives October 3rd with the new Mercury Lynx and Ford Escort, competing with anything in their class
Ford, that's incredible.
from anywhere in the world.
Ford, that's incredible.
Monday night, don't miss Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, and Dudley Moore in an uproarious comedy, Foul Play. Monday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain, followed by a special showing of MASH.
Head coach Monty Clark of the Detroit Lions, the 15th head coach in Lions history, 43 years of age. His son is a fine quarterback on the Michigan State football team, who were beaten yesterday. Atkins got a yard or so. Good pressure by none other than your old friend John Mendenhall.
John Mendenhall. John is
I say your old friend because he used to give you fits, didn't he, when he was at the Giants?
He was with Green Bay early in the training camp. He came from the Giants. He was an excellent defensive lineman for the Giants. He played his best games, I guess, against the Cowboys, and now he's a stalwart here in the Detroit Lion defensive line.
Right tackle for the Lions, wearing number 64 and trying to fill the very big shoes of Doug English, who retired this year. 2nd and 9. Atkins, again short yardage, tripped up shy of the 35-yard line. Ken Fantetti, very active middle linebacker, number 57. Guy who started the season at middle linebacker last year, speaking of people on other teams, is Ed O'Neill, who is now a linebacker for the Packers. Joined them just a week ago and is making his first start in a Green Bay uniform today. Long-time fixture with Detroit. 3rd down. Packers need 7 for the first down. The ball is at their 34-yard line. They trail it 3-0. Wonder how long this touchdownless drought by the Green Bay offense can go on. Reached 4 games now. Shotgun formation. Dickey fumbled the snap. Didn't appear to be a bad snap. Kind of pulled away, didn't he?
That's one of the negatives of the shotgun right there was that center snap. I chased a few of those on the ground and dropped a few myself in the shotgun. A quarterback is trying to look downfield. You still have to concentrate on the ball.
Of course, you got to have a center that can execute that thing without looking. Beverly back to do the punting, standing on his 13-yard line. John Arnold. There's Arnold. He's the deep man for Detroit. Handy man to have around. Punt returner, spare wide receiver, good speed. Great high kick this time, a real boomer. Fumble by Arnold at the 25, and he covers it at the 26. Arnold was a product of what the Lions call their gong show, their free agent tryout. He was the only player off their free agent tryout last year that they signed. Timeout. We'll be back after this.
Where can you find someone to service all the parts of your car with the know-how and equipment to check wheels, brakes, engine, suspension, almost everything? Someone who'll give you a written estimate and fix only what you want fixed. Firestone Car Service. That's where. 24,000 Firestone Car Service bays are waiting to serve you for this week's specials. Check your newspaper.
When it's your vacation and you fly there for less.
That's Transamerica Airlines.
That's Transamerica. When you can get more life insurance than you thought you could afford.
That's Occidental Life.
That's Transamerica. When you rent a car and get the feeling that you're number one.
That's Budget Rent-A-Car.
There are many companies in the Transamerica family, and they all stand for just one thing. First-rate service at a fair price. That's Transamerica.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 1979 Derby and Preakness winner Spectacular Bid is slated to lead the pack of the 1980 Woodward Stakes. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Russell Erxleben has just drilled a 26-yarder in Chicago, and the Bears and the Saints are tied at 3-all. We mentioned earlier, Roger and I were in New Orleans last week. You couldn't find a sicker kid in America than Russell Erxleben after the problems he had in that game. 1st and 10. Lions. They floated out, intended for Bussey. He makes the catch and has a first down at the 49-yard line.
Well, Detroit evidently saw Green Bay last week, and Green Bay is using the fake blitz, and this time they did come, and they've got audibles. Danielson's got an audible against that play to throw it up. The linebackers, someone's got to take the backs man-to-man. In this case, John Anderson was trying to take Dexter Bussey man-to-man. The ball was thrown up, and Bussey adjusted to it nicely.
Big first down, and the second big catch that Bussey has made. Lions at their 49-yard line. 1st and 10. They lead it 3-0. We're now late in the first period. 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. Nice hole for Bussey over the left side. He moves it into Green Bay territory at the 49-yard line.
You know, Frank, I want to mention on a team that likes to come in that blitz and back off of it in that 3-man front. Pittsburgh does that a lot. The way to get him out of it is hit those plays. Danielson's hit Bussey twice. I'm sure Green Bay is going to think again about trying to work the blitz against Detroit. Now, if the blitz works, you're going to see it all day. But right now it's not working. You might not see it again.
2nd down, 7. Lions from the Green Bay 49-yard line. Gary Danielson at the throttle. Sims takes the handoff. Look at that move. Sims may be... Well, I thought he may take it all the way. Finally stopped at the 23, but he put about 4 moves on that Green Bay defensive line that had him grabbing air. What a spectacular
Here's
run.
the move. It's the I formation. Bussey gets a nice block. Sims, here's the move right here. This quick move, fake to the right and break to the left is what sprung him loose, and he got Johnny Gray trying to tackle him. Estes Hood finally gets over there, makes the play. If Fred Scott would have got over there a tad quicker and got Hood, the wide receivers are learned. They got a block downfield for Sims.
Sims again. after picking up 25 on the last carry. Packers hold him to 2. He's down to the 22-yard line. Billy Sims, 5 carries, 35 yards so far here in the first period.
Those wide receivers can be a big help in the future. It looks like a back is down, and in most cases a back is down, but one in the caliber of Sims, he can still make the big play, and a downfield block could make the difference in a touchdown in a long game.
2nd and 6, or make it 2nd and 7. Lions are at the Green Bay 23-yard line, and we get an official time here. Danielson was pointing across the line of scrimmage.
There's something on the ball.
That's the last thing you as a quarterback want to handle is a ball with some mud on it.
That's right. They'll change balls, but you can't huddle again. You got to go. You got to go from the line. I used to try to tell there's something on the ball if the clock was running down, but they won't let you do that anymore. They won't let you rehuddle. You got to go right from the line of scrimmage.
You slide dog, you. Got away with it ever?
Yeah, until they started changing, making.
2nd and 7 from the Green Bay 23. Dexter Bussey caught at the line of scrimmage. Maintains his balance. Initial hit there by Mike Douglas, number 53, the linebacker who knifed through there. Interesting thing about Sims as the clock winds down at the end of the first quarter. He doesn't seem to have caused any resentment among his teammates, despite the fact he got that fat contract. Contrast what's happened in L.A.
Well, Detroit, 2-14 last year. I think they want to win, and controversy over contracts aren't going to be a factor now. In L.A., they have won before, so money becomes more of a controversy.
3rd and 7 is maybe the last play of the first quarter. Danielson scrambling, gets it away, completes the pass, and then the ball's knocked loose. Incomplete forward pass. A big hit by Mike McCoy, number 29, on Mike Freedy, the rookie wide receiver and high draft choice of the Detroit Lions. Freedy had that ball. He was pulling it down and then was jarred by the tackle.
Danielson does a good job. He scrambles around. He comes to Freedy late. Freedy wasn't primed. Then he has to fire it into him. He catches it right here, and the hit by Estes Hood knocks the ball loose.
That's the end of the first quarter. Back in Milwaukee after this.
American cars guzzle gas. American cars are all style and no substance. American cars don't last. To all that, American Motors says nuts. This American Motors Concorde and this Spirit are built to be more than just good looking. They're tough. Tougher than ever before. The only American cars with galvanized steel and 100% of the exterior body panels. That's right, 100%. And Concorde and Spirit are more fuel efficient than ever before. This Concorde actually gives you better mileage than Chevy Citation. Only the tough Americans give you Z-Bard factory rust protection and a full 5-year no rust-through warranty.
Tough can be beautiful.
Plus the exclusive American Motors Buyer Protection Plan, still with the best economy car warranty coverage in the industry. Concorde and Spirit, for good-looking high-mileage cars, don't sell the tough Americans short. Concorde and Spirit, built to last, from American Motors.
I tell you, I was a born soccer player. Did everything with my feet. Took out the rubbish with my feet, made the bed with my feet, drove my mum crazy. But I finally found something I enjoy doing with my hands, drinking light beer from Miller. Light has a third less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, but what really makes me happy is the taste. It's terrific. Now, my mum should be happy too. Look, Mum, no feet.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by the American Motors, Concorde, Spirit, and Eagle, built to last from American Motors.
Fourth down as we start the second period of play. The Lions need 8 for the first down, and Eddie Murray, who has kicked one 32-yard field goal, will attempt this one from 40. Hipple to hold. That's not bad for a 7th-round draft pick.
Eddie's been on target all of training camp and last week and this week.
First field goal of his NFL career against the Rams was 52 yards, a good way to start off. He's 2 out of 2 against Green Bay here in Milwaukee this afternoon.
Got a date, Jack?
Do I ever?
One look good?
Yeah.
Try this.
Oh, come on, Gabriel. This vest must cost a fortune.
But it's yours for $9.95.
You're kidding.
Just buy 2 Gabriel shocks and get the vest for $9.95.
I'll try it out, thanks.
Jack, the shocks?
Sure, sure.
Oh, Jack. Jack.
My name is Mike Withers. I'm a State Farm insurance agent in Rockland, California, speaking for thousands of State Farm agents all over the country. We have various reasons why we think State Farm has maintained a reputation and people keep coming back to us year after year. My personal belief is that it's the service. We deliver when the policyholder has a problem. We sell on that basis and we deliver on that basis, and people keep coming back.
State Farm is there.
Frank Lieber along with Roger Staubach back at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Lions lead the Packers 6-0. Detroit ready to kick off. 52 yards in that last drive, covered 7 plays and culminated in the 40-yard field goal by this man, Eddie Murray. Tremendous height on the kickoff again. Mike McCoy at the 5-yard line, out to the 10, 15. And McCoy is up to the 23. For a moment, looked like he might see some daylight. Packers back offensively again, led by Lynn Dickey. Dickey is 3 out of 7 for 22 yards. We started to mention he's had everything happen to him. I mean, he had a broken hip, a bad injury with Houston, broken his leg, separated his shoulder while with the Packers, and consequently is not nearly as mobile now as he once was.
He's tried to change his luck. He's changed his jersey number from 10 to 12.
Think that'll do it?
He's trying everything now to stay healthy.
Eddie Lee Ivory across the 25 to the 26-yard line. #1 draft choice of the Packers last year, and suffered that knee injury in the first game of the regular season. Eddie Lee, once upon a time in his college career, in fact his senior year at Georgia Tech, rushed for 356 yards in a single game against the Air Force Academy, setting an NCAA rushing record. Finished in the top 10 in the Heisman Trophy balloting. Picked up 4 on that carry. 2nd and 6. Packers from their 26. Ivory out to the 28-yard line. That'll set up a 3rd down. They still need 3 for the 1st down. What the different defensive philosophies of these two ball clubs? One plays the standard 4-man front, the other 3-man.
It's completely different. Green Bay is now with the 3-man front. They have 4 linebackers and 4 people in the secondary, whereas Detroit overshifts their front 4. They have they might overshift towards the tight end, which would be a strong side overshift. Then they might overshift towards the weak side, which would be just with the guard and tackle side. They move it around. They shift their defenses, and it's a whole different philosophy on defense for both teams.
3rd down, let's call it 4 for the 1st down. Penalty marker goes down as Ivory is stopped well short of the yardage needed for the 1st down. See which way the penalty will go here. Purifoy in on that tackle. Bubba Baker hasn't made his presence felt yet. Of course, you had Bubba in the Pro Bowl, didn't you, a couple years ago?
Bubba is big, he's strong, he's a needed ingredient on this Detroit team. He can put pressure on the passer, he can play the run well, and he's an all-pro defensive lineman. That's a big play right there. Green Bay ran the ball on 3rd and 4, tried to get the 1st down, didn't make it. That penalty gave him the 1st down.
Defense, middle guard, offside, 1st down.
He just gets a little bit itchy right here. That's
John Woodcock.
John Woodcock.
Number 77, the left tackle. That gives the Packers the 1st down. Keeps their drive going, and Dickey's going to try to capitalize and does. Hitting Lofton at the 50-yard line, out of bounds at the 48 of the Lions. James Lofton, former #1 draft pick out of Stanford, one of the premier receivers in all of football. 21 yards.
The play action fake held the linebacker, and that gave the opportunity for Lofton to get to the outside. There was no help underneath for the defensive back, so the play action fake held the linebacker, and Lofton made a good move to the outside, and Dickey was on target.
Jimmy Allen making the stop for the Lions, but not before another 1st down, the 2nd. in this drive for Green Bay. They're at the Detroit 48-yard line, trailing 6-0 early in the second period. Ivory looking for some running room. Doesn't find much up the middle at all. John Woodcock, number 77, stuffing the hole. Woodcock himself, like Bubba Baker, has made some salary renegotiation noises. In fact, he threatened to sit out last week's game against Los Angeles and then changed his mind. A lot of holdouts this year.
Of course, the Rams led the league in holdouts.
Did they ever? There's still a few out. I guess New England leads it now.
They do. They're having a game against Atlanta today. Atlanta was winning 28-21 against New England.
Sounds like a track meet. They're still in the first half. 2nd and 10. Packers from the Lion 48. They trail 6-0. Turdell Middleton has checked into the Green Bay lineup for the first time. Right over the middle. Gary Ellis, number 31. Now, Ellis is a former Los Angeles Rams 7th-round draft pick who was picked up by Green Bay just this week. He's worked out with him just twice.
Well, Ron Cassidy runs it down and in right here, and he shields off Charlie Weaver. He shielded him off right here to get Ellis open in that hole, but Cassidy shielded off Charlie Weaver, which made the play for Green Bay.
A 16-yard pickup. Packers' deepest penetration as they've reached the 33-yard line of the Detroit Lions. Not much of a hole for Atkins. Maybe a yard as he was stacked up by the Lions front four, the Silver Rush they call them. Right now, Bubba Baker, Mendenhall, Woodcock, and Dave Purifoy, a former Green Bay Packer. Lions have a couple of assistant coaches who were former Packer assistants, Bob Schnelker and Don Dahl. 2nd and 8. Green Bay at the Detroit 31-yard line. Ron Cassidy in motion across the backfield. Dickey with good protection. Lofton at the 10. Lofton down to the 5-yard line. James Lofton, who caught 5 last week against the Chicago Bears, off to another big afternoon. 1st and goal.
This was similar to the play they caught before where Lofton went back to the corner. This time Hunter comes up short. Allen is back deep. There's a hole in that middle. Fantetti got his feet crossed a little bit. He wasn't back there, and Allen had to take either Lofton to the outside or to the inside, and he broke to the inside, and Dickey hit him on the money, but Fantetti should have been back in that area and could have knocked the ball down.
Crowd is alive now as the Packers have a chance to go ahead. Cassidy wide to the left side. Thompson is flanked to the right. Ivory and Atkins, the setbacks. Behind Lynn Dickey. Eddie Lee Ivory trying to go outside. He'll score.
They needed that.
The first touchdown in 4 football games. 18 quarters it has been since last Green Bay has scored in its 2nd preseason game.
Well, they scored first offensive touchdown. Here Eddie Lee makes that dip inside. He's got some speed. He gets outside. He gets around Jimmy Allen and scores. He's got some speed to the outside. It's the first offensive touchdown.
That's
they
right.
scored on Markle's play last week.
Beverly will hold. Markle with the extra point try, which would give the Packers the lead, and does. Impressive drive, 78 yards. 8 plays, culminated by Eddie Lee Ivory's 5-yard touchdown run. And the Packers lead the Lions 7-6.
If you give up your luxury car for the gasoline shortage, are you gonna miss all that plush carpeting? Are you gonna miss those big, comfortably upholstered seats? Are you gonna miss that power steering or those little creature comforts like a digital clock or a coin box? Not if you buy our Honda Accord LX. It's got all those things and more. Why not give up your luxury car for a luxury car?
Honda, we make it simple.
Reuniti on ice?
That's nice. Reuniti on ice?
That's nice.
Reuniti on ice.
That's nice.
Reuniti is America's best-loved imported wine.
Red, white, and rosé. Like love, it's natural. 380 on ice.
Tuesday night, it's the all-new Linda Carter special Encore. Merle Haggard and Tom Jones join Wonder Woman Linda for a dazzling hour of singing and dancing Tuesday night.
Packers leading 7-6. And ready to kick off is Chester Markall with 10 minutes, 22 seconds left to play in the first half. Ken Callicut at the 10-yard line for the Lions. 15-20. Across the 25 and stopped short of the 30-yard line. This has got to be a big day for Eddie Lee Ivory in more ways than one, huh?
Eddie's having a big day. He had a little baby girl this morning, 7 pounds, and he's also scored the first touchdown in 4 weeks.
He means so much to that Green Bay offense. He outgained Walter Payton last week. He had 73 yards. Payton had 65. And had to be taken out of the game when his knee collapsed on him a couple of times. But the Packers were scared to death. They checked it out, found it was just a bruise. 1st and 10. Lions from their 29-yard line. Danielson back to throw. Look out. Got away from the linebacker. Floats it to Bussey, and Bussey can't reach it. Danielson mad at himself there because he simply overthrew Bussey, who was wide open. Big rush that time by number 55, Mike Hunt, who almost got to Danielson.
Hunt put the pressure on. Danielson is coming off knee surgery last year, and he looks mobile. He looks healthy. He got around to the outside, showed some speed, and tried to lay it to Bussey, and it was a little bit long. He had the right idea.
He has one of those intangible things that gives his teammates a lot of confidence in him. I'm sure you know about that, being a former quarterback, but they seem much more up with Danielson at the throttle, much more confident. He missed the entire year last year, and the Lions had to go with the rookie, Jeff Comlow. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Sims on the pitch. Crosses the 30 out to the 32. Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Obviously, Danielson's concentration, you figure, has to be hampered a little bit today.
He's had a tragedy in their family. They lost a little girl after 7 weeks in the hospital with a virus. I talked to him yesterday, and he's trying to keep it in perspective. His wife, of course, is on his mind. The team is, and it was a 7-day period there that was a shocker to Danielson. But he's an upbeat guy. He's a positive-thinking guy, and he's coming with his best today.
3rd and 8. Dexter Bussey is stacked up at the 33-yard line. So Danielson trying to get the Lions offense revved up, has a word with the referee Bob Frederick before leaving the field. It'll be 4th down, still needing almost 7 for the first down. And Skladany comes in to do the punting. Detroit is just 1 out of 5 in 3rd down conversions. I tell you, there is vast improvement in this Green Bay defensive unit over the last couple of weeks. You wouldn't believe it. This is the same club that got beat 38-0 by Denver in their last preseason game. Ron Cassidy on the punt return up to the 39-yard line. Probably the best Packer field position of the afternoon as they take over at their 40 with 8.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
This is the oil that saves you gas, but it does more. It can take you
from New York
to London, to Paris,
To Sweden.
to Tokyo
To Hollywood.
and back to New York.
25,000 miles without an oil change. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
You know me. If you're on the move in business, use me, your public phone, as your branch office. And you'll find I'm even easier to use with this, the Bell credit card. It's as fast to use as giving the operator your card number. You even get a monthly record of your calls. Okay. To apply for it, call your Bell business office. Use the Bell credit card. and use me.
Frank Lieber with Roger Staubach at Milwaukee County Stadium. Green Bay leading Detroit 7-6. Second period, 1st and 10. Packers have the football at their 40-yard line. Cassidy in motion across the backfield. Glenn Dickey feeds it to Ivory, and Ivory dives forward out to the 43, pickup of 3 in the play. I know the Cowboys didn't play up here very much, but this stadium I'm sure has a few memories for you, doesn't it?
We had a chance to play here a few years back. We were in the midst of having some problems ourselves and won a game here. It started on an 8-game winning streak. So it's got a good memory, this stadium.
And wound up in the Super Bowl, as I recall. Huh? Wasn't that the last Pittsburgh Super Bowl?
I want to forget about the Super Bowl. I remember the eight victories.
Yeah. Second down, 7. Atkins having a little trouble. Regaining his balance, gets it out to the 45-yard line. That'll leave the Packers with a 3rd and 5. Green Bay always tough here at County Stadium in Milwaukee.
Green Bay got up the line quick. They wanted to keep Detroit out of their nickel defense.
Dickey, sideline throw for Cassidy, incomplete.
What they were trying to do, Frank, was get Ray Oldham, keep him on the sidelines and keep all 3 linebackers in the game and maybe get some man-to-man coverage or some confusion on Detroit.
Well, the Packers will have to punt it on 4th and 5 now from their 45-yard line. Green Bay, like Detroit, just 1 out of 5 in 3rd down conversions. David Beverly, last punt was a 48-yarder. First one, not nearly as good. Nice high kick, this one. John Arnold contained back around the 10-yard line.
That's great coverage down there. That special unit's working. Of course, Beverly gave him the opportunity with that fine punt.
Officials will mark it at the 11. That's where Detroit will take over. Excellent punt by David Beverly.
Hold it. Hey, guys. All right, stop fooling around. Calm down. Hold it down. I mean, this is the first Light Beer alumni picture. Okay, a little respect. All right, everybody here?
Everybody who is somebody.
Oh, very clever. All right, smile, will you?
Knock it off, Billy. You need this job.
Are you guys ready? Hold it. Hold it. Stay like that. Hold it. Now. Just be yourselves. Calm down. Calm down. Hold it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I loved this house. It was like an orphan when we adopted it. Now it's adopted us. 11 months ago, my husband died suddenly. It was an awful shock, but it would have been so much worse if we'd had to move. Thank goodness we bought mortgage life insurance from Nationwide when we insured our home.
Mortgage life insurance. It's part of Nationwide's blanket protection for your family.
Nationwide is on your side.
Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Hilmer Kenty defends his WBA lightweight title against ex-champion Ernesto España. You'll say you saw it on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Bart Starr in his 6th year as head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And it has been 6 long years so far. Packers have been decimated by injuries the last 2 or 3 years. They have 13 players on the injured reserve list. Danielson, straight handoff to Bussey. Bussey running hard out across the 20, close to the first down at the 21-yard line. I'm sure Green Bay must lead the league in guys on injured reserve. 13 is just an unbelievable number. That includes 4 players who probably would be starters right now. Close enough for measurement.
Well, that spin by Bussey got that yardage there. He's got good hands. He's got good mobility, and he's a spinner too. That when he's tackled, he's spun away there, and a lot of backs will just kind of continue to run over people. But Bussey can spin, and Sims has got a lot of qualities that the great backs have. Of course, his size. He's got the speed, but he's also got the agility, the quick feet. Bussey, the 2 of them are a fine duo, 2 fine running backs in the same backfield.
Seem to complement each other very well. Bussey had lost his starting job to Bo Robinson for a time at the end of last year. Robinson now has some knee problems, but he's going to have a terrible time. beating Bussey out the way he's been going. Second down. Less than a yard. Ball is at the 21-yard line. Billy Sims. First down and then some as he takes it to the 26. Well, you've had a chance now to see Sims for almost a half. How would you stack him up with Tony Dorsett, who you're so familiar with?
Well, Sims is in the mold of one of those real special backs in the league with Otis Anderson, a Dorsett, or a Peyton. He's got strength. He's a bodybuilder. He lifts weights. He's strong not only in his legs but his upper body. And he's got the speed to go along with the strength. So he's going to be an outstanding running back into the mold of the great running backs.
First and 10 from the 26-yard line. Bussey up the middle to the 30. Picks up close to 4 in the play. It'll be second down 6.
What I'm saying, he's no middle of the roader, Frank.
That's what I kind of figured that's what you were saying. He can play on your football team anytime. Billy averaging better than 5 yards a carry so far this afternoon, 46 yards. Second and 6. Lions at their 30, trailing by a score of 7-6. Sims after the 33-yard line. It'll be third down. They'll still need 3. Good 3 yards for the first down, maybe a little more. You know, after that last preseason game, Green Bay, where they lost to Denver 38-0, everybody was so down in this football club, and a lot of times it takes something like that to get a team to rally around itself.
That's true. They've picked themselves back up. The defense is playing well, and right now these third and 4s are pretty much a passing situation. These are big downs. Third and 4, you want to keep that drive going. They've had a couple nice runs. They don't get the first down. The drive isn't any good.
They go with the reverse to Leonard Thompson. Thompson at the 35 up to the 40. Has the first down and is run out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A bit of trickery.
John Anderson was a little bit shocked that time because the guy trying to block on him over there was Gary Danielson. Gary threw a block and Anderson had to jump over him.
You remember the last time you threw a block?
Here we go. We're going to be able to see this. This is the reverse. Off of a handoff, it comes back to Leonard Thompson. There's Danielson leading the way, and Anderson has got the leap over him and slows him down. Quarterback, that's dangerous for a quarterback.
That's got to show you something, though.
It's not his contract to block. He's a competitor.
First and 10 from the 46-yard line.
Play action pass.
Danielson flushed out of the pocket. Incomplete as he tried to sidearm it downfield. The closest receiver to it was Freddie Scott. So the crowd thought it might be intentional grounding.
That's an excellent time for a play action pass, though. It comes off of a big play on the reverse. It's first down. They've got 2 fine running backs, and Green Bay's back there. They had the receivers covered, and Mike Butler, of course, put the pressure. When you have play action, the offensive linemen have got to do a good job. If you slip up on you have to make it look like a run, and if you David Hill, and Danielson laid that right past his shoulder and just over his head.
It's another first down for the Lions at the 41-yard line. Detroit now on the move on this drive. Keep in mind this started way back at the 11th after that long punt by David Beverly. Clock is moving, just over 4 minutes left to play. First half. Green Bay leading Detroit 7-6. Tight defensive struggle. Fake to Sims. And again, Danielson under big pressure. And this time the Packers will not let him go. Mike Butler, number 77 in there. And along with him, blitzing, Mike Douglas, number 53.
Well, Danielson was on a play action. I'm not sure. It might have been a screen. He's getting back looking for a screen, but Butler was released too quick. He was in there along with Mike Douglas.
That's a loss of 16 yards on the play.
There was a stunt in that line. When you have a 3-man rush, sometimes they stunt. Johnson could angle one way, and Butler could loop all the way around and come up the middle, which he did that time. And he also had Mike Douglas, a linebacker, coming. So someone freed up their man. Even though it was a screen, you can't release him that quick.
Second down, 26. 30-second clock got him. Delay of game, Detroit. cost him another 5. Well, the Lions moving backwards on this drive.
Delay, offense, second down.
How many plays you have in your repertoire for 2nd and 29?
How many prayers did you say?
How many prayers is probably
no,
right.
you got 2nd 29. You can't go for the whole thing. Go for about 10, 12 yards and then set up a big 3rd down.
Almost picked off. Mike Douglas got his hands on the football, number 53. And Anderson was back there too, number 59.
He was going for pretty to pick up 10, 12 yards. Now it's very tough to get in that 3rd and 29. 2nd 29 is bad enough, but 3rd and 29 is
that's the pitch.
It's gruesome. That's when you look over at the coach and you're glad he's calling the plays.
Brady to the right side, Scott to the left. David Hill set inside Scott. Hail Mary. Scott had no chance. Mike McCoy was the closest one to it. And this Packer defense is here. This crowd fired up now.
You know, on 3rd and 29, they did not bring a linebacker, so there was a 3-man rush. And I'll tell you, Johnson, Ezra, and Charles, and Mike Butler are still putting pressure with that 3-man rush.
Ladaney in to do the punting. Packers have stopped the Lions cold since that opening drive. They took the opening kickoff and marched down the field. Cassidy, 15, and stopped at the 18-yard line. Good coverage by the Detroit Lions. Zipping down there was Wayne Smith, a rookie defensive back, number 44, to make the stop. Packers take over 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. NFL on CBS next Sunday afternoon. We'll be at Detroit with the Lions to see their regular season home opener against the St. Louis Cardinals. Tampa Bay Dallas game ought to be an interesting one. Tampa Bay with one of the best defenses in all of football, as they showed against the Rams again the other night. 44 yards on the kick by Spladany. Lynn Dickey trying to get the Packer offense revved up.
Screen.
Ivory. Didn't fool somebody.
James Hunter was he was in a short zone. He was coming up in that short zone, and he recognized the screen right away.
Veteran defensive back and former #1 draft choice.
For 28. Did a good job in that play.
Got some good talent in that secondary. Loss of 6 on the play. 2nd down, 16. Ball is back at the 13-yard line. Inside handoff to Atkins, and the Packers now are going backwards. Loss of 4 on that play, back to the 9. Mendenhall, number 64, penetrated. Got to be no greater feeling than a player who has played for another football team to come back and have a good day against them. Obviously, he's never experienced that.
Detroit called a timeout. The reason they did that, they also have the 2-minute warning, so they'll get another automatic timeout where they won't have to use it. So that's good strategy. They're going to try to use that 2-minute offense and get good field position here.
Bart Starr talking things over with Lynn Dickey. You know, historically in the past, quarterbacks have not turned into outstanding coaches. Why do you think that is? I mean, maybe Van Brocklin, but who else?
Well, there's a history of that. I don't have an easy answer for that. Bart Starr, of course, was one of the great quarterbacks in NFL history. He's not only as a leader, but he was a strategist. He could throw the football, and as a coach, he's still to be graded. The Packers have had problems with injuries. They've lost some draft choices. They've made some trades they've been sorry for before his time. So I think the jury's out on Bart. There's no reason why he cannot be a great quarterback because he's so intelligent. He's a fierce competitor, and it's kind of rough now. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Year before Bart joined the Packers as head coach, he and I worked quite a few NFL games together on CBS. Does that mean you're going to be at Notre Dame next year?
No, I couldn't handle that coaching. You got to be a psychologist to be a coach also. I didn't take psychology in college.
What did you take?
Engineering.
3rd and 20. Packers on their 9-yard line. Detroit really applying the pressure now. Dickey back into his end zone. Airmails it for Lofton and throws it out of bounds in front of the Lions bench. Now, this is one of the few stadiums in the league where you got both benches on the same side of the field.
That's a good play there, though, Frank. It was a safe play. It was to the outside. Lofton was going back into that hole again, and they wanted to get the first down to prevent Detroit. I like them going for that. I like that. That was a nice play, and it was difficult to complete. You had everybody back there, but they tried. They tried to get the first down, but this gives Detroit now an opportunity to do something before the half. They should have good field position there.
Beverly needs a boomer here. He'll be punting 7 yards deep in the end zone. 2 minutes, 8 seconds left to play. They got close to him. Arnold signaled for the fair catch that let it bounce.
Got a Detroit bounce.
Out of bounds at the Green Bay 40. So the Lions will have excellent field position as we go to the 2-minute warning. 1 minute 58 seconds officially left to play in the first half at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with Green Bay leading Detroit 7-6.
The Toyota Celica Super is life in the fast lane that's almost beyond belief. But the Super is not the only way to join the fast crowd. There's a now classic sporty Celica GT Coupe and the GT Liftback. And for those who would like a sporty Celica for a little less money, there's the ST, the lowest price Celica. To find out which one's for you, drive a Celica. Then just trust your feelings. A Celica selection.
When Europeans get together with friends, they serve their wine in a carafe. Thanks to Paul Masson, we can enjoy this same tradition. Paul Masson's convenient carafe, sealed fresh at the winery to capture each wine's delicious flavor, whether it's Paul Masson's delicate, crisp Chablis, rich, mellow Burgundy, or delightful Rosé. The Paul Masson carafe. The time has come for this great way to serve a great wine.
Tuesday, the Dukes of Hazzard star in a special 2-hour TV movie presentation. Carnival of Thrills. The action never quits. Be there Tuesday at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
Lions trying to go to intermission with a lead. I would say they have a good chance with a kicker like Murray around. They've got excellent field position as they start this drive after a 32-yard punt by David Beverly. They're moving the ball from the 40-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. Danielson is now 5 out of 10. Cooled off a little bit. Goes for the bundle here, but David Hill can't run underneath it. He's a tight end who can normally go deep and do an excellent job of it.
You got to give a vote to this front three of Green Bay. They only rushed 3 men that time. They had no help from the linebackers, so the front 3 were coming, and that time Ezra Johnson was back there in Danielson's face. He got rid of that ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to. The disadvantage of that 3-man rush is it gives the quarterback more time, but if you get 3 guys coming in there, put pressure on you, you have 8 guys back, so it's an advantage if you have some pressure from 3 men. And right now, Green Bay is putting some pressure from that 3-man rush.
2nd and 10. Lions from the Green Bay 40.
Now they got the blitz look. Put the linebackers down. They're backing out now.
Trying to confuse Danielson. Bussey, 35, 30. First down at the 29. Nice run.
Nice call. That's a trap. He might have called it against the blitz. That would have been better when they backed out of it. It wasn't as good a play, but it worked. It worked well.
Lions call time here with 1 minute and 43 seconds left to play. in the first half. Detroit trailing by a score of 7-6. As a quarterback, what would you rather face, the three-man front or the four-man?
I think the three-man front is, I would rather face it, because normally if your line is doing the kind of job they can do, you have more time back there. And I'd rather have more time throwing the football and have one extra man back there than to have that extra man coming at you. So I like throwing against the three-man front. You can play action pass against it very well and hold those linebackers. There's 4 linebackers behind the 3 men, and if you can hold them with play action, you can hit a lot of intermediate passes in the play action area behind those linebackers. So it's a defense I personally like to throw against, but again, if you have great linebackers and you have pressure from those front 3, then it can be a heck of a defense and a tough defense to go against.
As we head back to play, the Lions will own the football with a first down at the Green Bay 29-yard line. I would say right now they're probably within Murray's field goal range.
Yeah, Danielson's thinking now, make sure he doesn't get trapped. He doesn't want to get out of field goal range, so he's going to get rid of the ball, and he's still going to try to get the score. They have enough time for a score. But it looks like they're setting up the field goal.
Bussey got a couple at the 27-yard line before being stacked up. Big Ezra Johnson, number 90. Looked like he's had his supply of hot dogs before the game today.
He doesn't look hungry. He looks mean, though.
He does.
He's hungry to get the quarterback, but he's playing good football today.
Lions simply staying on the ground here, running that ball forward and making sure they get good position for the field goal. Sims has been contained a little better here in the second period. He's rushed for 48 yards and 11 carries. Exactly 1 minute left to play in the first half. Third down, 4. You see the time remaining. Lions don't seem to be too concerned right now.
Well, they've made up their mind to go for the field goal, evidently.
Billy Sims, 15, 10, 5. Sims is out of bounds at the 1-yard line. What'd you say?
Well, they didn't throw the ball, but with a guy like Billy Sims, they set it up. They set it up with 2 nice runs and a little reverse there, and Sims took it in. I think they caught Green Bay off guard right there. Little fake to Bussey off the right side. Sims comes back off the left side, and you got everybody going the other way. Ezra Johnson was going that way, the linebackers, and Sims got enough speed to get around the corner and puts his shoulder right into Johnny Gray and almost scores. He's down at the 1-yard line.
First and goal to go. Clock is stopped with 35 seconds left to play. First half. Detroit trying to regain the lead before intermission. Sims going over the top for the touchdown.
That picks you up.
I was just going to ask you what you thought of the Lions' strategy sticking on the ground there instead of going for the 6 points.
Well, they knew what they were doing. They looked to me like they were setting up the field goal, but they also had the play with Bussey off tackle, a little reverse to Sims, and I'm sure they felt that play was as good as a pass, and they were going for the trying to get the touchdown.
Murray to try the extra point. Murray's the reason that Benny Ricardo is looking for work these days. He was the Lions' place kicker last year and a fine one. But this guy is so good. Perfect. 32 seconds left to play in the first half. And Detroit has regained the lead, 13-7. Murray with field goals of 32 and 40 yards. And now Billy Sims with the 1-yard touchdown dive.
Here's the touchdown. It's he's got Bussey leading up the middle. He dives, and the only way you can stop that play if a defensive back or a linebacker guesses with you, and he hits you about midstream over the line of scrimmage. But Sims got it in the end zone without any problem.
40 yards on the drive, 6 plays, and it took him less than a minute and a half. Pretty good 2-minute offense. So the Lions will kick off. Time for maybe 1 or 2 more plays. And that'll be it. Detroit has not been a good road football team. They've had all kinds of problems. Their victory last week over the Rams, the first in their last 15 outings on the road. In fact, it was their first opening day victory since they beat Green Bay here in Milwaukee back in 1977. Murray will kick off.
Both these teams have played well. There are very few mistakes, not many penalties.
Squib kick on the ground, fielded by Johnny Gray at the 25-yard line. Gray gets it back to the 37. Well, the Packers have timeouts remaining. The question is, do they have enough time to get in a position to do anything?
They've got enough time. They've got a few timeouts left. They've got to hit maybe one over the middle, call a timeout, hit another one, and they're in field goal range.
Of course, with your experience, I'm sure 27 seconds sounds like a lifetime. You've been in these things so many times. What do you need, right? Give them give them 7 seconds back, score, right? Dickey under pressure. Underthrows the intended receiver at the 50-yard line.
There's a
Cassidy.
holding penalty, I'm sure, back in that backfield.
Ron Cassidy. Packers go with just 3 wide receivers. Cassidy is the backup. Lofton and Andra Thompson are the other 2. Here's the walk-off, and we'll get the call from the referee Bob Frederick as it sets the Packers back to the 27.
Offensive holding, number 68. First down.
Pin that one on Greg Cook, the offensive tackle. It's the Packers' first penalty. Detroit has been penalized 3 times for a total of 15 yards. Len Dickey, 6 out of 12 for 83 yards. We're down to 22 seconds left to play in the first half. Shotgun. Over the head of Lofton and picked off by the Detroit Lions. Good defense by the Lions.
Charlie Weaver made a nice catch.
Oh,
wide
Charlie.
receiver.
And still do it. 31 years old, 10-year veteran out of USC. Coming up with a big defensive play. Now the question is, do the Lions have enough time?
They've got to hit a big one about 18, 20 yards somewhere over the middle or out of bounds and call the timeout. And with Murray's leg, they'd be in field goal range. They got maybe one shot at it here.
That's pretty good hands for a linebacker.
Charlie knows what's going on. He knows that time is a factor, and he heads out of bounds.
No time to be a hero, huh?
He wasn't afraid of anybody. He knew the clock was a factor.
Now let's see if the Lions can hit a big one and possibly get it within range for Murray to give it another shot. Danielson going to try.
There's Freddie Scott over the middle.
He's got Scott at the 30, and Scott is down to the 26. We're down to 5 seconds, 4 seconds, and they stop it.
Freddie Scott caught 62 passes last year. I was wondering when they were going to hit him today, and that was the time. They were waiting for it.
And caught all those passes last year playing with a broken hand. A good portion of the year. There's Monty Clark. So Murray comes on again. Now this has got to hurt a team, right? In terms of hurting Green Bay, he hits this. I mean, psychologically.
To see what he does here, but it's not a good omen.
This would be a 43-yard effort when we get around to it. Lions are going to call time here to regroup. They have that timeout left. This will be the last play of the first half. Now he's hit from 32, and he's hit from 40. There's Monty Clark. Coach, general manager, director of football operations. Not actually general manager. Russ Thomas holds that title. Here's Murray. Eric Kipple, the rookie quarterback, to hold. It's long enough, and it is good. Got it again.
He's on target.
Guy just does not miss, and there's the gun. 3 field goals here in the first half by little Eddie Murray. And the Detroit Lions lead the Green Bay Packers by a score of 16-7. Halftime at Milwaukee County Stadium. Now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
All right, welcome back to our control room in New York. Let's get you up to date with all of the scores around the league. This game now in the third, and the Philadelphia Eagles looking very strong this year. Ahead of Minnesota, a couple of touchdowns by Leroy Harris, the second one from 10 yards out. Atlanta and New England, 31-21. The Falcons over the Patriots, and of course they were underdogs. Meanwhile, Buffalo routing the Jets, 23. The game is blown wide open. Jeff Nixon has just scored on a 50-yard pass interception for Buffalo in that game. Many of you watching this contest, 16-7, as Eddie Murray, the kicking sensation, hits one with time running out of the first half. Pittsburgh has just gone ahead on a 10-yard scoring pass. Bradshaw to Franco Harris, 13-7, Steelers over the Colts in that one. 17-7, Zorn to Sam McCullum from 12 yards, then Zorn 7 yards to Sherman Smith, and they lead Kansas City. Meanwhile, Chicago is ahead of New Orleans, 13-3 at the half. Archie Manning suffered a broken nose in the first half, and Guy Benjamin finished up. Just a short time ago, I had a chance to talk to Jack Youngblood of the Los Angeles Rams. On the live hookup from Southern California, I asked him about the Rams' problems. They're 0-2 right now.
I think those problems are over now. We're back here to play football. There's a certain point in time where you have to separate economics and the actual playing.
What is your contract status? Are they going to renegotiate?
Well, let me say this. I didn't take a vacation for 15 years, so I really just wanted to go fishing. And we have an understanding with management, all the holdouts do, and management has their position, and right now we're there to play football to the best of our ability.
Now, Jack, management seemed to be a little bit flexible at halftime Thursday night about the quarterback's contract. Vince Ferragamo indicating that, yes, they would certainly reconsider that. I believe the estimate is $52,000, which is not a great salary for someone who led a team to the Super Bowl. Let's be honest about it. There are other players on the team being paid more than you. You did a heck of a job for them last year. Can you forget the contract hassles? You have just said it. Easier said than done sometimes with money, isn't it?
Well, Brett, you have to realize that economics and actual playing have to be separated at certain points in time. And I think that I've done that, and I think the other players have too, that, you know, on Sundays that the economics of football are put out of your mind, and you go out there to try to win and try to play the best you can. If you're thinking about the money, you're gonna probably get your, rear end knocked off.
Philadelphia and Minnesota. The Eagles, of course, think they have a chance in the NFC's Eastern Division. Wilbert Montgomery has turned it loose for a 72-yard score. There's Harris on his first of two. Now we watch Wilbert Montgomery. And Irv Cross, isn't he the key man in the Eagles' attack?
No question about it. Wilbert possesses sprinter speed, as you can see here. This run, 72 yards, I have to excuse my cold here, is the longest run of the year so far.
Now, Tommy Kramer rallied the Vikes from the shotgun. Went to Ahmad Rashad for the Vikes touchdown in this sequence. But then a short time later, in Bloomington, Minnesota, it was all Eagles. You're watching now the Falcons and the Saints. And here's Atlanta's Wallace Francis getting in for a touchdown against New England in Foxborough, Minnesota. And here's a man, Irv, that you really like, Junior Miller, their rookie tight end for the Falcons.
Big, strong guy out of Nebraska, has tremendous speed. He stands about 6'3 and a half, 6'4 or so, about 225.
This is Grogan to Stanley Morgan now from the 26-yard line, made it 28-21, and it was a controversy. Irv, what about this call? Both feet in bounds here?
Both feet, but it doesn't matter. At this point, the defensive back pushes him out of bounds. That's why it's a catch.
Soldier Field in Chicago. Phipps on the throw to Robert Fisher, and Fisher turns it loose upfield against the Saints, and it was 10-3, Bears over the Saints. Now it was Archie Manning before he suffered the broken nose, and Walter Scheid stepped up and stopped that scoring drive, and it has been the Bear defense which suddenly has come alive. Here's number 99, Danny Hampton, in on him, and right now, of course, the Bears are ahead 13-3 at the half. 28-7, Montgomery has just scored a second time for the Eagles. And now from New York, let's send you back to the stadiums and the games you're watching.
Welcome back once again to County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Prior to the start of the second half of today's game between the Lions and the Packers, Detroit leads at 16-7. What do you look for here in the second half?
I think the big thing for Green Bay, they've got to overcome the 10-point barrage that they saw at the end of the half. It's a psychological thing for their defense. Their defense played well, but you get 10 points quickly on you, you got to come out with a good positive attitude. I think offensively, Green Bay's got to hit a big play. They've got to get the ball to Lofton, or Ivory's got to break one. Get some big plays going and get back in the end zone, get back in the football game. The difference of 13-7 to 16-7 makes it more than a touchdown. They've got to overcome that. They've got to get on the board, I think, first in the second half. If Detroit gets back on the board first, I think it could be a long day for Green Bay.
Well, Dickey seems to be very Lofton conscious. He seems to be looking for him on just about every pass play.
They're trying to play the zone where they bring a guy up short and a guy deep, and Lofton is just breaking off the Jimmy Allen, the defensive back, going outside or inside, and he's also been able to go over the middle. He's a great receiver. He's their #1 receiver. Maybe this half that they might go to Andre Thompson more, but the first half it was Lofton.
We'll be back with the second half at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in just a moment.
Got a long day's work behind me.
That's it. Let's take them all.
Good times on my mind, and a setting sun to remind me I'm going back to a place called Miller Time. If you've got the
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
We've got the beer.
America's quality beer since 1855.
Miller tastes too good to hurry through.
Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Sometimes it seems to me that if you're lucky enough to be born with a sound mind and strong body, you have an obligation to help others not so lucky. I'm Freddie Scott of the Detroit Lions. This is my son, Freddie II. We're visiting the Detroit Institute for Children. It's supported by the United Way. I'm studying to be an orthopedic surgeon, and someday, when my football days are over, I may be working with children like these. When you see these little children struggling to overcome their handicaps, well, it can bring tears to your eyes. But I feel good in knowing that any child can get the professional help that's needed. These staff members and volunteers make it possible. That's the spirit of United Way. It works here in Detroit. Thanks to you, it works for all of us. United Way.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Ford Motor Company, bringing you a new generation of small, fuel-efficient cars that arrive this fall. Today's Army, join the people who've joined the Army. And by Prestone 2 Antifreeze. It has a silicone silicate formula to lock out rust and corrosion.
Lions are back in the field, so are the Green Bay Packers, and we're just about to get the second half underway here at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Detroit leading by a score of 16-7. Here's a look at the statistics in the first half of play. Detroit with a little bit of edge there in the possession time, and in virtually every category as you look at it. The Lions have outrushed the Packers 122-30. That looks to be the big difference thus far, as Green Bay's had difficulty running the football. But so far, from a statistics standpoint, you'd have to say it's pretty much Detroit, Roger.
Pretty much so. Ball control also. They've had the ball longer, but it still comes down to that last 2-minute period. If Green Bay gets a first down, they can control the football a little bit, and they could have the advantage, but they didn't. Detroit held, they punted, and Sims' run set up the touchdown, the interception. So it all happened that last 2 minutes for Detroit.
Field is wet, temperatures in the 50s, and it is a bit chilly here at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There are a few loose spots out there. In fact, members of the ground crew were out there trying to pound some of that loose turf back into the ground. It's the worst thing I guess you can run into as a player in a field like this, where the turf does kick up certain areas.
It's a bit of a problem today. Of course, if this kind of field with the baseball diamond on it, if it rained, it would be a mud bath. it's not too bad. The ground is held well, and so far the running backs have run. They haven't had too much of a slippage problem. But it's it's not a fast track, but it's a good track today.
Eddie Murray ready to kick off for the Detroit Lions. Thompson is deep, so is McCoy. This one coming down on Thompson's side. He bobbles it at the sideline and he stepped out of bounds apparently at the 11-yard line before he had a chance to return it. Officials will mark it at the 12. Green Bay will put it in from there, and again, the great hang time by Murray enabled the kick coverage teams to get down there. First and 10. Packers with the football. They trail 16-7 and will start the second half with not the most desirable field position. Atkins behind Ivory's block. Gets it out to the 15. Pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be second down 7. You're down a little bit after having 9 points scored on you in the last couple of minutes of the first half, and now you come out the second half, you got bad field position. That doesn't help things.
They've got to run the ball. Steve Atkins is a fine runner. He had knee surgery last year. He's from Maryland, and he and Eddie Lee have got to get this running game going in the second half for Dickey to do any good with the passing game.
Stopped in his tracks is Atkins.
Dave Purifoy was right there. He
former Packer, number 75, let go by the Packers. This is kind of like old home week for you down on the sidelines before the game, meeting some of your old adversaries from Green Bay. Talk about that. Yeah. Willie Davis was down there. Tried to hit the tight end, Paul Kaufman, who caught more passes last year than any tight end in the NFC.
Luther Bradley had him all the way across the field, man to man, was pretty much on the spot. That ball would have had to have been perfect, and Dickey led him a little bit too far, but Luther Bradley was there, number 27, to cause a lot of problems for Kaufman.
Beverly will do the punting. What breeze there is here is against him. It's in his face in this third period of play. Standing on the 1-yard line. Pretty good kick.
Another nice one by Beverly.
Arnold at the 35 of Detroit up to the 40 and no place to go. Good coverage off the Green Bay Packers special units. Buddy Adelet, rookie lineman, was the first man down there, so the Lions on their first offensive possession take over at their 40. We'll be back in just a moment.
To try a new gauge so we can
This is what it takes to build tomorrow's small cars.
I want to make sure that
Experience, technology, skill, and the incredible world of Ford.
So letzte Berechnung, Herr Dahm, hatte ja gezeigt, dass wir nicht zu eng schneiden. What if we had a flange?
Okay, that'll strengthen the fender connection line.
This is the Mission Control Center of Ford's incredible world of technology in Dearborn, Michigan. New ideas for the use of high-strength steel, a power-efficient engine, a new suspension system are all right here. Building a new generation of small cars with world-class technology right here in America.
If you could see tomorrow.
Tomorrow arrives October 3rd with the new Mercury Lynx and Ford Escort, competing with anything in their class.
Ford, that's incredible.
From anywhere in the world.
Ford, that's incredible.
Tuesday night, it's the all-new Linda Carter special Encore. Merle Haggard and Tom Jones join Wonder Woman Linda for a dazzling hour of singing and dancing Tuesday night.
We'll check some other scores for you. Atlanta, New England still scoring points at a rapid rate now in the fourth period. Detroit leading 16-7, first and 10 from their 40-yard line. Dexter Bussey, a couple of yards up the middle. We'll check some of the other scores for you as well. Danielson in the first half, 6 out of 12 for 126 yards. He was trapped twice. And Sims, the leading rusher in the game, with 75 yards and 13 carries. That's more than Walter Payton got off the Packer defense in the entire football game. Pittsburgh having a tough time with Baltimore. They trailed for the longest time in that game, but they've now pulled ahead. 2nd and 8. Sims, watch him. Penalty marker down. Boy, he is classic at giving you that hip and then taking it away, isn't he?
He's very fluid. He can make those moves and still be at full speed. Some running backs will make the moves, but it slows them down. But Sims can make the moves, and he's still at full throttle, and that makes the difference.
They'll call it back. Sims, by the way, will be 25 years old this Thursday, making him one of the older rookies in the National Football League. He was redshirted. And here's the call.
Offensive holding, number 61, 2nd down.
Homer Elias, guilty of the penalty. Of course, that may help him, the maturity that he's gained, you know, being as old as he is.
I'll tell you, Billy's a fine guy. I've had a chance to meet him on a couple of occasions, and he's a good team man. He's a good man. He came to training camp even though he had a problem with the in the offseason, and still worked with the team.
2nd and 18 following the penalty. Lions back on their 30-yard line. Dexter Bussey knocked out of bounds at the 35. Of course, when you came out of the service and started with the Cowboys, how old were you?
I was 38.
No, you look 38. How old were you really?
I was 27.
27?
27. I was an old rookie. We had 3 children, though, so I had to get with it right away.
Well, you led the league in your rookie year with most children for a rookie, probably. Right? 3rd down. 14 needed for the 1st down. Lions at their 36-yard line. Got Rick Kane in the backfield now instead of Sims. Danielson gonna run it. 40, 45.
He's gonna make it.
Got the 1st down.
He's gonna make it.
1st down at the Green Bay 47. How about that? 3rd down and 14, and he runs for it.
I like this Gary Danielson. I like him today. I saw him on TV when they were playing Minnesota, and he threw about 5 touchdown passes. And here he comes now. He's back. He's looking downfield. He's looking. He wants to go. He knew he has to get the big pass. He didn't see it, so he decides to run for it himself.
He looks like he's in command, like he knows what he's doing. He knows where those down markers are. He knows what he needs.
Oh,
very impressive.
Sure did on that play.
18-yard pickup. They needed 14 for the 1st down. Packers going to have to dig in here. Detroit 1st down at the Green Bay 47-yard line. Sims getting the pitch a little bit late, but getting outside to the 40 and down to the 31-yard line. And we say they have to dig in here because if Detroit scores, they can start blowing this thing open.
Yeah, Gary gets the little problem with the snap right here, I believe. He went to pitch it, and he bobbled it right there. He's got Homer Elias out in front of him. He got Dexter Bussey blocking. Homer's looking downfield. He gets a block right here on Johnny Gray, and Billy makes a few on his own. Number 20, Billy Sims, still fighting.
Lions on the move here on their first offensive possession of the 2nd half, leading 16-7. They had a long drive after taking the opening kickoff in this football game. Moved down the field as well. Sims almost dropped the ball. Got the handle, didn't get much there. Moved it down to the 30. Did you see what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing to Minnesota?
Philadelphia's for real this year. They took it to Denver, and they're coming back this week against Minnesota.
They lead Minnesota 42-7 in the 4th period of play. I think your Cowboys going to have a battle on their hands to remain division champions.
I think the NFC is going to be interesting this year. There's a lot of playoff berths up for grab, and then the Dallas, Philadelphia will be battling out for the NFC East, and you got Detroit and Green Bay and Chicago. They're all in a battle here also with Tampa Bay and possibly Minnesota.
Bussey jammed behind the line of scrimmage, dropped at the 31. Good penetration by Mike Butler, number 77. Couple of real bookends there for the Packers, both former #1 draft choices, and Butler and Ezra Johnson.
I think the Central Division's up for grabs too.
Oh, I think so too. And you know, Detroit could very well go from last to first in 1 year. I don't think that's beyond the.
No, it isn't. There's an air about this team that it's solid. It's a they can't afford a couple of key injuries, but it's a solid football team.
Yeah, Monty Clark's right. This is no 2-14 football team. 3rd and 10, big play.
That's an unusual one.
Not for the first down. Would you describe what happened there for
Well,
me?
he saw something. They're in that nickel defense, and of course, they're playing, Green Bay's playing the pass, and he felt he could get squeezed through that middle, and he almost did it. If it would have worked, it would have been nice. See that big hole there in the middle? Well, the problem was on Danielson just got caught just barely by Terry Jones, who came in that defensive spot.
Here's Murray going to try for 4 for 4 in the field goal department. This is a 43-yard effort, would match his longest of the afternoon. Again, it is long enough, and it is good. Murray just keeps drilling him through. That's like money in the bank. 9 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the third period at Milwaukee County Stadium, Detroit, leading Green Bay 19-7.
John Burns joined the Army in March and kept us waiting until October. Kathy Wolf joined the Army in May and kept us waiting all summer. If you're a high school graduate or about to be, you can join the Army now and take up to 12 months to report for duty. That way, if you qualify, we can guarantee you the skill training that makes you happiest. And we think a happy soldier is worth waiting for. This is the Army, a chance to serve your country as you serve yourself. Call this number toll-free.
Using this surgical fiber optic camera lens, Prestone Labs is going to show you what weak, neglected antifreeze can do to your radiator after only 9,000 miles. Look at these passages. Rust, corrosion. Continued neglect could clog them and overheat this radiator. Before this happens to you, put in Prestone 2. Prestone has a patented silicone silicate formula that forms a tough protective barrier to lock out rust and corrosion. Prestone 2 and Prestone Super Flush. No wonder we're #1.
Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Hilmer Kenty defends his WBA lightweight title against ex-champion Ernesto España. You'll say you saw it on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Eddie Murray ready to kick off for the Detroit Lions. He scored 12 of the Lions' 19 points on 4 field goals. 2 of them from 43 yards away. Thompson is deep, so is Mike McCoy.
Nice and high, but short.
Andre Thompson, he can fly. 20, 25, 30 after the 32-yard line. You realize, I'm sure, that that you get fined and suspended if you're caught eating a hot dog during a replay.
Thanks, Frank. The Mike Freedy. Mike Freedy is a valuable player on this Detroit team. He, I would say, almost made a saving tackle that time to Andre Thompson.
He is their 3rd-round draft choice. They used the pick they got from Baltimore in the Greg Landry trade to select him in the draft this year. Well, Packers got to get the offense going now. Out to Thompson, one-on-one, and he didn't win the battle. Trying to do a little dance around Jimmy Allen, number 40. Picked up around 6 on the play. Make it 5. Make it 2nd and 5.
It's a big series here for Green Bay. They got to get something going. Detroit came out and got 3 after a stalled drive by Green Bay. So Green Bay's got another chance here. They've got to get back in this game. This drive's an important one.
Colts ahead of Pittsburgh now. They forged back in front, 14-13. 3rd period. Ivory. Not enough for the first. It'll be 3rd and 2. Burt Jones to Butler, 16-yard touchdown pass, giving Baltimore the lead over Pittsburgh.
John Woodcock's doing a good job in the middle of that line. That time he got a big arm on Ivory, and Ivory cut back inside, and Woodcock really was responsible for bringing him down there.
Here comes Baker out of the game, number 60, replaced by Gay at that right defensive end. Bubba has not been that much of a factor, but again, how much can you expect from a guy that's practiced just 2 days? After being out of camp some 5 weeks. Big 3rd down play, and Ivory fighting for the first down. I don't believe he got it. This may be close enough for a measurement, but I don't believe he has it. Going to be 4th down. It looks like a yard, maybe a little bit less.
About a half a yard.
All right, be coach here. Would you go for it?
Well, the percentages say don't go for it, but at 19-7, they need a positive play, so they might go for it.
I think Bart heard you. Packers are going to go for it on 4th and 1.
Basically, you risk the football game here, but it's a chance you can take, and you make it, fine. You don't make it, you second guess.
Ivory getting the call, plowing forward. Think you got it?
I think he did. It's close. The officials really have it in their hands right now where they place the ball, but I think that last little surge probably got it. He did. Watch him hit right in here. He hits right here and he drives with that. Those feet are still moving, and it's a difference of inches, but he got it.
Give a lot of credit to the center, Larry McCarron, number 54. McCarron is an interesting story. He had a hernia operation 24 days before the Packers' first game last Sunday against the Bears, and he started and played that entire game. He's in there today. Dickey.
There it is.
Lofton is interfered with. Pass interference against Detroit. It'll be a Green Bay first down at the line 40.
You know, believe it or not, I think Dickey was throwing to number 82, Paul Kaufman. Lofton was supposed to run his man out of there. And I think he looked back and saw the ball and wasn't sure what to do, and came back into the play and had interference. Hunter interfered with him. Here's Dickey. It's a play-action fake, and using the play-action, it's Kaufman trying to get behind the linebackers. He's laying it up, laying it a little bit too far for Kaufman. I'd like to ask him who he was throwing that ball to right there.
Here's Dickey on that last play as he got crunched pretty good.
Yeah, he's got thrown down.
Packers on the move from the Detroit 40. They need to score badly. 1st and 10, and Atkins is caught at the line of scrimmage by John Mendenhall. Hey, he can play. A big rap against Mendenhall was always his height because he's not that big for a defensive lineman. 5'10", 11.
Well, he's a bit short. He's not real tall. Here's it's a counter play. He's faking to Ivory, then goes off tackle to Atkins, and Mendenhall doesn't go for the fake.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Atkins, outstanding All-American of Maryland, and the number 2 draft pick of the Packers last year. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the 3rd period.
Comes a blitz.
Look out. Dickey doing a great job avoiding the blitz, but then couldn't hit Ivory.
Oh, Fantetti. How do you pronounce that?
You got me saying it now. Fantetti, you got it right the first time. Ken Fantetti.
Getting mad at me. He's bigger than me. But Fantetti was on the blitz, and he came up the middle, and no one picked him up.
Don't forget the Cowboys and the Broncos in our CBS doubleheader game on most of these stations. Immediately following the conclusion of this one. 3rd and 11. Packers need a first. They're going for the bomb. The intended receiver was Lofton. He was sandwiched in between Williams, number 21, and Allen, number 40. And the Packer fans want the interference call.
Well, the Lions guessed right. They had the perfect defense in that play. They sent Lofton deep to the post, and he was banjoed inside and out. A banjo is a term I shouldn't use because you don't understand it, but they had a defensive back to the outside, a defensive back to the inside, and he was doubled all over the field, and they picked out the right man, their strength to stop, and they stopped him.
Beverly to do the punting. Angles it for the near side, coffin corner, and into the end zone for the touchback. So the Lions will get the football at their 20-yard line. 6 minutes, 18 seconds left to play, 3rd period. County Stadium, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Detroit, 19, Green Bay, 7. Detroit Lions 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. They're in command here, 19-7. Midway in the 3rd period. Gary Danielson at the throttle of the Lions. They're looking more and more like contenders every time out. This is one reason. Billy Sims. Sims, 25, 30, up to the 35-yard line. Another 15 yards. That'll put him over 100 for the afternoon. 106.
There's a play. Sims, I'm sure he's got so much leeway, and the line knows they have to keep blocking for him because he could break anywhere, and that's basically a run-to-daylight play. He started to hit inside. The linebackers reacted inside. He didn't see anything there, and he broke to the outside, and with his speed and acceleration, he can get outside, and he just runs to daylight. He sees that daylight, and he goes for it.
Detroit with an excellent running game. They gained 330 yards rushing against the Rams last week.
Play action pass.
And that, of course, sets up the passing game. Dexter Bussey, 45, 50, and into Green Bay territory at the 49-yard line. So the Lions are on the move again. On the prowl. First and 10.
Bob Schnelker's up there calling the plays, relaying them down to Danielson. He's mixing them up well, using the play action. When you have running backs like Bussey and Sims, the play action passes, those are plays with a fake on a run, or the terminology is a play action, faking the run, and you got to take advantage. It's got to be a good part of your offense when you have running backs like they do.
Sims, 45 and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. That's a sizable chunky yardage.
Has a little fake to Bussey and quick screen out to Sims. He had Russ Bollinger, the right guard, was pulling, getting out in front of the play, and he got a roll block and gave Sims a few extra yards.
Sims had 153 rushing against the Rams last week, which was not a record for an NFL rookie in his first game. He would need 195 today to break Alan Amici's record of 347 in his first 2 NFL games. And the way he's rolling now, I don't know. He could have a shot at it. 2nd and 3. Bussey close to the first down at the 38-yard line. I want to get back to banjo. Tell me what banjo is.
Banjo is a mistake by a rookie announcer. Those are the terminology you have for your team is you see what defenses the other guys are using, and you try to use that terminology. And what it amounts to is the coverages don't change a whole lot amongst the teams, and I have to learn to describe them so my wife can understand them. Listening to me on TV.
I see.
And she's listening right now, by the way. She's watching.
It has nothing to do with banjo instrument.
No. Here's a short yardage. There are, in that short yardage defense, 2 tight ends, a short flanker. Oh, it's a nice.
Sims, 30, 25, down to the 15-yard line. That looks very close to the same play they scored on in the first half.
They've got both backs. Bussey's behind Danielson. Sims is to his left. They fake an off-tackle play to Bussey right here, and then Sims just spins around and comes back the other way, and you got Flo going one way, and it's like a reverse. It's a very fast reverse, but it is a reverse. You got Flo going one way and Sims going back the other way.
Estes Hood finally caught up to him with an assist from Gray. Lions now with a first down at the 15-yard line to the Green Bay Packers. Packers may have jumped offside as Bussey is down to the 11.
Charles Johnson got a little anxious that time. But he...
they say they pulled him off.
I think they're going to give it to Danielson for his changing his count. Danielson's mad.
They ever get you on that? Change your cadence?
No. They can, though.
Did you ever do it?
If it's obvious, yes, I did.
Did it work?
I didn't tell him I was...
Well, I'm sure you did.
Didn't apologize to him, but no, I didn't get called on that.
Here's the call from the referee, Bob Frederick.
Number 16 of the offense, first down.
Illegal procedure against the Lions. Move it back to the 20. It's now first down at 15. David Hill, the tight end, down at the 16-yard line.
That was a little bit of a delay there, Frank. Hill stayed on the line of scrimmage about a count and let the linebackers get back deep, and then he came right underneath the linebackers. Danielson was looking downfield and threw underneath. you're looking downfield like that, the linebackers are looking at you. They're in a zone defense. They're looking at the quarterback playing their area. They're looking at Danielson. He's looking down there, and he knew that Hill was coming underneath. And he got about 7 yards. He didn't get enough, though.
2nd and 10. Sims dips inside, goes outside, and he's inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. By the way, Sims going over 100 yards today is the first time that a Lion back has had 100-yard games back-to-back since Mel Farr did it. That was back in 1970.
Well, Sims is something special. He knew he couldn't get outside of Steve Luke, so he put his head down and got a couple more yards going back inside.
3rd down. They need 3 for the first down. They have to reach the 5-yard line to pick up the first. Danielson wants time. Gary Danielson, free agent, started in the World Football League and came to the Lions, had a very impressive finish to the 1978 season, and then was injured in the final preseason game last year, missed all of the year, and it cost the Lions dearly. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you give up your luxury car for the gasoline shortage, are you gonna miss all that plush carpeting? Are you gonna miss those big, comfortably upholstered seats? Are you gonna miss that power steering or those little creature comforts like a digital clock or a coin box? Not if you buy our Honda Accord LX. It's got all those things and more. Why not give up your luxury car for a luxury car?
Honda, we make it simple.
Television should be more than an electronic tranquilizer. At its best as an art form, television should touch you, involve you, move you. The art of television, experience it at its best on the one television that is itself a work of art. The Emmy Award-winning Sony Trinitron. Sony, the one and only.
Monday night, don't miss Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, and Dudley Moore in an uproarious comedy, Foul Play. Monday night at 8, 7 Central and Mountain, followed by a special showing of MASH.
It has been all Lions here in the second half, and the offensive production here, the statistics would bear it out. It's rather impressive.
Interesting situation right here. 3rd and 3. You got an alternative throw, the drop back, play action, and run the football.
Billy Sims, when you got Sims, why not? Didn't quite make it.
He's a bit short.
I think he's about half a yard short. They had to reach the 5 to pick up the first down. He stumbled. And there's the Lion players indicating how much they need. And the way things are going right now, it would appear that Monty Clark's going to go for the sure thing, and that's going to mean Murray, who will try to make it 5 out of 5 in the field goal department.
I think Monty normally would go for this first down, but it's 19-7, so a field goal gets him out of that 2-touchdown range, and he'll go for the field goal. Other than that, he would have probably tried to get the first down, but it's a good play because of the 19-7 score.
Hipple, number 17, to hold for the Lions. Murray drills it through. 5 field goals for Eddie Murray. Lions lead the Packers 22-7. We'll be back after this.
When you can borrow money for the things you need, when you need them.
That's Transamerica Financial.
That's Transamerica. When you go to the movies, and you're glad you did.
It's United Artists.
That's Transamerica. When your property is well insured and your independent agent is understanding.
That's Transamerica Insurance.
The many companies in the Transamerica family all stand for just one thing. First-rate service at a fair price. That's Transamerica.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special. The beer.
Building inspector.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
I didn't believe you two could build your own house.
Yeah, well, don't look. It's not finished.
Well, I guess we'll just take our loan, Brown, go home.
Well, maybe one quick look around.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
What are you going to do when you finish this place? Just what I'm doing right now.
Steve Mickemeyer has just kicked a 20-yard field goal, and can Pittsburgh be upset? Well, Baltimore leads it still in the third period, though. 17-13. Our score, Detroit 22, Green Bay 7. Murray kicking off. Thompson 3 yards deep in the end zone, out to the 10. Stopped at the 15-yard line. We get a marker.
That number 44, Smith, for Detroit. He's had a great day on the specialty teams. He's been down on punts and kickoffs, and he's been in on everything.
Wayne Smith, rookie out of Purdue, number 44. And a great coverage man for the Lions. See what the walk-off is here.
That's nice to have a guy like that. You have a few of those headhunters and those specialty kickoff punt recoverage. And
flip against the Green Bay Packers. Final score, Philadelphia beat Minnesota 42-7. So the Eagles are rolling as they make it 2 in a row. And the clip means half the distance to the goal, which means the Packers have to start on their 8-yard line. Their other quarterback, by the way, normally would be David Whitehurst. Whitehurst was injured in the first preseason game. That Hall of Fame 0-0 tie against San Diego. Is out with a knee injury, is on injured reserve, but they hope to get him back within a month. Nevertheless, Dickey was the starter at the end of last season. Here's Dickey slipping and falling and throwing it out to Ivory at the 5, 10, 15. Ivory turning it into quite a run. First down at the 28-yard line. As Dickey threw that thing in a prone position.
I'll give Lynn Dickey a pat on the back for that one. It looked pretty gloomy there, and he laid it off to Ivory. But right here, he's down, and he sees him, spots him out there, and salvages a disastrous situation.
Now, how you can see a receiver from that position, I'll never know.
Well, he knew what to play. He knew what he was. He knew where he had someone out there. He sure knew what the pattern was, and Ivory was a safety valve on the play anyway.
Dickey coming out throwing as he has to. He's got Lofton at the 50-yard line. James Lofton to the 45 of Detroit, first down. And this Packer crowd, which has been sitting on its hands for most of the second half, suddenly comes alive.
Yeah, Dickey's back. He's got a deep route. Lofton's deep over the middle behind the linebackers, and he beats the safety, and Jimmy Allen's got to come in and make the play. Number 40.
There's the gun.
Allen stops him.
That's the end of the third quarter here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Lions leading 22-7. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Tuesday, the Dukes of Hazzard star in a special 2-hour TV movie presentation. Carnival of Thrills. The action never quits. Be there Tuesday at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Archie's going to have another long afternoon, looks like.
Archie broke his nose in the second quarter.
He's in there. He's playing.
Is he back in there? Nolan's in trouble down there, probably.
What's that? In Chicago, Alan Page has sacked Archie Manning for a safety, and the Bears now lead the Saints 15-3. Our score, 22-7. Lions over the Packers, but the Packers on the move with a first down at the Detroit 45-yard line. Dickey, excellent pass protection this time. It hits Kaufman. A big tight end for another first down at the 21. Paul Kaufman.
Well,
Not used much today.
Kaufman's number is 82, and that ball hit him right between the 8 and 2. Luther Bradley had him all the way across the field, man-to-man. Pretty good coverage. The ball was right there. Kaufman looked it in, good concentration, and made a big play.
Packers holding 5 consecutive wins over the Lions. And in danger of losing that string if their offense doesn't get it cranked up here. We're in the first minute of the final period. Atkins, they go with the reverse to Andre Thompson. Thompson at the 20, in trouble, fights his way to the 16-yard line. Picked up around 5 on the play. Luther Bradley finally made the stop.
Well, Fantetti did a good job on that. He started to go for the sweep to the other side. He saw the reverse. He recognized it quickly, and a disadvantage you have for a young player is not recognizing the reverse. He recognized the guards pulling back the other way, and he got over and was instrumental in stopping the play.
2nd and 6. Green Bay from the Detroit 17-yard line. Badly in need of a touchdown. Ivory, as we get a penalty marker, takes it to the 14, pick up a 3 on the play.
That draw play like that looked like Larry McCarron there in the middle. Either that or Darrell Goforth held somebody.
There's nothing takes the air out of your balloon in a drive like this than a holding penalty. Bubba Baker, you may have noticed, is back in the game for the Lions. So the hold moves it back to the 27-yard line. Bob Frederick, the referee, his microphone obviously has gone out on him. So we'll go back to the old way of translating those signals for you, just like we used to do. 2nd and 16. Green Bay from the 27-yard line of Detroit. Lions doing a lot of dancing now. There's flags all over the place. Somebody jumped. Whoop. Dickey is sacked back at the 36 for a loss of close to 10. On that play was Woodcock and Mendenhall, 77 and 64, who were through there first. Now the question is, who jumped first? There's another final score for you. Bit of an upset. Illegal motion against the Green Bay Packers is declined. They'll take the loss instead on the sack, which will move the Packers back to the 37-yard line. Next time the Packers play at County Stadium, it will be against a team with whom you are familiar.
Cowboys.
2 weeks.
Come into town. That last penalty, Detroit was again faking the blitz. They're moving linebackers up and back, and a couple of the Green Bay offensive linemen got a little jittery and caused the offsides.
It is 3rd down, and I can tell you they have to get to the 11 for the first down. They're back on their 37. Dickey trying to drill it in there to Cassidy. Threw it into the ground at the 21-yard line.
Cassidy was in the bind there between Walt Williams and Charlie Weaver, and Dickey knew it, and he tried to throw it with everything he had, and the ball was just low. He just did not throw a good pass.
A little bad news for you there on the TV screen.
Well, it's going to be a good game out there in Denver. Denver had a rough week against Philadelphia. They're coming back. Dallas played well against Washington. It's going to be a good game before it's over.
1-yard run by Matt Robinson. And most of you watching this game will see that game as the second game of our CBS doubleheader. 13 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in this one. At County Stadium in Milwaukee is David Beverly.
It's a nice kick there.
Punting for the Green Bay Packers. Hits at the 10. And will be covered at that point by Green Bay. Detroit's ball 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. The Lions very much in command early in the 4th period with a 22-7 advantage.
Home energy bills have become outrageous, and that's the good news. The bad news, they're expected to double again in the next 10 years. But you can fight back. Get up in your attic and add another layer of Owens Corning fiberglass insulation on top of the insulation you already have. Put your house in the pink. See your dealer or contractor for more Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now.
Announcing the Zenith Bond Bonanza. Over $1 million worth of U.S. savings bonds free, with 38 different Zenith System 3 TV sets and all Zenith video recorders. You get a $50 or a $75 bond when you buy a specified Zenith System 3 TV, and a $100 bond with any Zenith video recorder. So get your dealer's best price plus a bond in the Zenith Bond Bonanza.
Next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, Hilmer Kenty defends his WBA lightweight title against ex-champion Ernesto España. You'll say you saw it on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
First and 10 Lions from their 10-yard line, leading 22-7. Redskins scoring on a 22-yard pass from Joe Theismann to Clarence Hyman to take that lead over the Giants, 6-0. They missed the extra point. Bussey bouncing outside, running over a few folks, and carries to the 17 or 18-yard line. Dexter Bussey had a very active afternoon. They do run the football a lot. Billy Sims has already carried the ball a total of 19 times on the afternoon and has 139 yards. Bussey has carried it 14 times and gone for some very tough yardage. And he's around the 50-yard mark. Picked up 8 on that carry. Second and 2. "30-second clock and run down to 1 second by the snap."
Mike Douglas was right there.
Billy Sims
He was not stopped. He started to go inside. He saw Sims breaking outside, and Douglas got back to stop the play. Right there. Bussey couldn't break the block. Bussey missed the block on Douglas.
There's a way to stop Sims, right? Before he gets started.
Number 53, Mike Douglas. Got him back into 3rd and 7.
53,099 looking on at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Now instead of 2nd and 2, it is 3rd and 7 for the Lions from their 13-yard line. Sims it is again. 30, 40, 50. Sims to the 30. Gray trying to catch him. Billy Sims scores.
Now that was sensational right there. Sims was man-to-man on Mike Douglas. He got even with Mike Douglas that time. He was coming across the field underneath the 2 cornerbacks and the 2 safeties. They double-teamed both wide receivers, ran with him. The wide receivers ran him out of the play. And watch Sims now. He's coming underneath. Douglas has got to take him man-to-man. He runs a curl. He's too far away from him. He's way away from him right here. He goes down the sidelines. He not only shows his speed right here when he gets behind Steve Luke. Steve Luke can't catch him. There's only one man that can get to him. He's got a bit of an angle on him. Now he shifts the ball to the other hand. Come on, Billy. Shift it over there. And he now forearms Johnny Gray with his strength. He gets into the end zone.
87 yards. Not only is that the longest pass play in the NFL this season, there was none longer last season. The longest one last year was 85. There's a penalty marker down in the extra point try.
You know, he summarized about his whole career on that play. His abilities are strength and speed, and he's a fine receiver. Monty Clark was telling me before the game he's going to be an excellent receiver. In the wishbone in Oklahoma, he didn't catch the ball a lot. He wasn't used to it. But he's got the athletic ability to catch the football.
Now here's Danielson watching Billy Sims running for the touchdown.
Gary is a cool cat. He's saying thank you, Billy.
We asked Ben to compare the inexpensive Bic shaver to the expensive Track 2.
No difference.
No difference. No difference. No difference. There's no difference.
The results of the Bic Barber test surprised a lot of people. 58% found Bic shave equal to or better than Track 2's. Why pay more? Most men we tested felt
no difference.
And the price?
Big difference.
The incredible Bic, still under a quarter.
This is a can of Mobil 1. What's in it for you?
Gas.
Lots of gas.
Lots and lots of gas. If you drive 25,000 miles a year and get about 15 miles per gallon, you can save up to 80 gallons of gas a year by changing to Mobil 1. The oil that saves you gas and more.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 1979 Derby and Preakness winner Spectacular Bid is slated to lead the pack of the 1980 Woodward Stakes. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
This is the 8th time that Eddie Murray is kicking off today for the Detroit Lions. He's had a busy afternoon along with 5 successful field goal attempts. That Sims is something else, I'll tell you. He'll make a hero out of any kind of quarterback. Nice high boot again. Andre Thompson gonna down it. Take it out to the 20.
I tell you, he'll help Danielson, but I tell you this, that Gary Danielson's a football player, boy. He looked downfield, he picked out Sims, he knew what the coverage was, he knew Sims was man-to-man, and Danielson's thrown the ball well today. He's been on target most of the day, and there's just something about Danielson. Even out there at practice yesterday, he was in the center of attention with his players, telling them what to do, working on the side over there with David Hill. So Sims will help Danielson, but Danielson's going to help Sims also.
Our thanks to our producer, Howard Rife Snyder today, and our director, Bob Dunphy, and the rest of the fine folks here in Milwaukee. It is always good to come back to the old hometown and get the fine job we get out of these folks. Dickey with the short throw to the tight end Kaufman. Of course, in the box score tomorrow, you know, 87-yard pass, Danielson to Sims. Looks like a long bomb, right?
That's right.
In reality, what, 10, 15-yard pass and about a 65-yard run.
I don't want to talk about my own past career, but I hit Dorsett on a 2-yard pass that bounced off of a linebacker, and Dorsett went 95 yards with it.
That looked good, too, the next day in the paper, didn't it?
Box score.
87 yards. That's the longest pass play in the NFL in 2 years. The longest play in the league last year was 85. Of course, the all-time record is 99. You can't do much better than that. Andre Thompson on the reception at the 30-yard line. Very close for the first down. Luther Bradley makes the stop.
Thompson just went downfield, made it look like he was going to go down and out, and just broke back underneath for a short gain and the first down.
Well, it's 2 touchdowns for Sims, 20 carries, 134 yards.
Green Bay has got to hit the big plays now, and of course Detroit knows that they're going to let them have the little stuff, the short stuff, keep them in bounds, keep the clock running. But Green Bay's got to hit something big here.
9 minutes, 55 seconds left to play in the game. Cassidy in motion. Dickey back to throw it. Almost intercepted. Stan White, number 52, picked up this year for an 8th round draft choice by the Lions from the Baltimore Colts on the recommendation of his linebacker coach at Baltimore last year, Maxie Vaughn, who now has a similar job with Detroit.
Well, they're happy with that decision. Stan White called the signals for Baltimore. He used to direct the defense. He and Maxie are working hand in hand. Maxie signals the defense into White now. White calls it. White's the leader in that defense, and it's been a good deal for Detroit getting Stan White.
Dickey, as you saw, 13 out of 25. Swings this one out to the far side. Harlan Huckleby, former Michigan star, and on the receiving end of that pass, carries it up to short of the 40-yard line. Billy Sims getting a breather. He's in the middle of that little confab right there, talking to David Hill, the tight end, number 81, and Freddie Scott, who looks like the Arab Sultan there.
Yeah, Freddie's saying, boy, that was a long pass play, Billy. How did you do it? Freddie caught the big play before the half. He's only caught 1 pass today. He had 62 catches last year, but he caught the big one before the half to set up the field goal.
Bradshaw to Jim Smith for the Pittsburgh touchdown and the Steelers lead. 3rd and 3. Huckleby trying to pick up the first down for the Packers. He's very close to it at the 40-yard line. Went out right at the down marker. Ken Fantetti, number 57, the middle linebacker on the the stop.
Now James Hunter forced that play. It was a fake draw, quick screen out there. Hunter was up. Missed the tackle, but he forced it and gave Fantetti enough time to get over there and knock him out of bounds.
Got to believe the Lions are not concerned at all now about the money it cost him to sign Billy Sims. What a difference he's going to make in this football team.
He's in the mold with the Sayers, the Simpsons, Dorsets, the Otis Andersons, Walter Paytons. You don't find many of them come along. Just great running backs. Plus, he's got a lot of good character. The Lions like him.
4th down. 1 yard needed for the first down, or a little bit less. Huckleby breaks outside to the 45 up to the 48. Allen makes the stop, but the Packers keep the drive going. Nothing to lose by going for it there.
No, Jimmy Allen was the only person between Huckleby and the goal line. He made a nice tackle. I was saying the Lions like his character also. He's a likable guy, Billy Sims, and that adds to your team also, besides his great physical talents.
Once again, likening it back to when the Cowboys drafted Dorsett, it had to take a lot of heat off you as a quarterback.
It was a big help to our offense.
1st and 10 Packers at their 48-yard line. Eddie Lee Ivory looking for some running room, gets across the 50 and down to the 47 of the Detroit Lions. By the way, should the Lions go from last to first place this year in the Central Division, it would not be unprecedented. A couple of years ago, Tampa Bay did the very same thing. Don't forget tonight on CBS, great lineup beginning with 60 Minutes. A lot of your favorite shows there, I know, Roger.
Archie Bunker's Place, One Day at a Time, Alice and Jefferson's. Also, the Lions have their nickel defense in on first down now. They're trying to prevent the big play. Ray Oldham's in there, and they've taken out a linebacker.
2nd and 5, and they're blitzing. Stan White on the blitz. Gets it away to Lofton at the 50. And Lofton wound up picking up maybe a yard when all was said and done.
Bubba Baker's been in and out. He's back there. He had a chance at Dickey. Watch this. Dickey's back. White's coming on the inside. Baker's on the outside. White's coming inside. The tackle takes Baker, and Baker just let him get outside. His job is not to let the quarterback get outside and let White pressure him from the inside. So Bubba was mad at himself there.
3rd down and 4.
Here comes the blitz again.
They picked it up this time. Cassidy had the ball, couldn't hold it. Had the safety blitz coming. Allen, number 40, but he got picked up by one of the backs.
Ellis did a good job that time. He knocked the safety off the quarterback.
Oakland and San Diego in a late starting game. Again, keep in mind, most of you watching this game, the Cowboys and the Broncos coming up immediately after the conclusion of this contest. 4th down. Again, the Packers going to go for it to keep the drive moving if they can. Down 29-7 here in the final period of play.
Comes the blitz again, both linebackers.
Lofton didn't hold it. Incomplete.
Well, in those 3rd downs, they're taking out Fantetti and bringing in Oldham, but Charlie Weaver and Stan White put the pressure on Dickey that time. He had no chance. He had to get rid of the ball sooner than he wanted to, and he couldn't get the ball out to Lofton.
They're coming after Dickey. 6 minutes, 49 seconds left to play in the game. Lions take over. 1st and 10 at their own 47.
When it comes to fighting rust, there are 2 types of people.
I want to do it fast.
I want to make it last.
For both, there's Rust-Oleum. Rust-Oleum's original fish oil primer goes right through rust to bare metal, so you get long-lasting protection.
It lasts.
And it comes in handy sprays, so it's easy to apply.
It's fast.
Not to mention 40 beautiful colors.
If you're going to do it fast,
you might as well make it last.
Good point.
You know, Atlantic Richfield says if everyone picked at least one thing to save energy and stuck to it, it would really put a big dent in the amount of energy we use. Well, on this job, I've got my choice.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry, just doing my thing.
My wife's picked 2 things, reducing our heating bills and this.
Hurry up, Jerry. You know Mama doesn't like it when we're late.
Sorry, babe. Just doing my thing.
Atlantic Richfield says let's all conserve energy. It's the thing to do.
Cowboys obviously waiting for the 2-minute period in Denver.
Early in the game.
Early, yeah. Real early. Second period. Fred Steinford with a 46-yard field goal to make it 10-0. Lions simply trying to run out the clock here. Rick Kane has come into the lineup as they give Sims and company a respite. Run out of bounds on the far side at the 46-yard line by Estes Hood.
Jeff Comlow's in there now also, Frank. Jeff played in place of Danielson last year, and he had his moments. He's big. He's got a strong arm, and he's now backing up Danielson this year.
Horace King, number 25, and Rick Kane, number 32, are the setbacks. I tell you, Sims and Bussey between them handled the ball almost 40 times. Sims 20 carries for 134. Bussey 13 for 45. Bussey caught 5 passes, and Sims caught 2, including the 87-yarder for the touchdown. That's King, a former starter, finding his way down to the Packer 42-yard line.
Well, it's nice. The Lions have some backup people running back also with King and Robinson and Kane also. So they have some people that can come in there and take the load off of Sims and Bussey and give them some rest and still play excellent football.
Got another guy that can kick field goals in Kansas City. Nick Lowry has kicked a 57-yarder and a 50-yarder in that game. Where are they coming from? First and 10, Lions at the 42-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. Rick Kane in motion. King gets the handoff. No place to go. Ed O'Neill, number 56, in the stop. There's Monty Clark sending the play in, utilizing those wide receivers. Mike Freedy, number 86, the rookie from Indiana. Well, it looks like the Lions are going to break the hold that Green Bay has had on them. They've beaten them. Green Bay has won the last 5 meetings between these two clubs, dating back to 1977. Lions next against the Cardinals in their regular season home opener next Sunday at the Silverdome. Green Bay has to go to Los Angeles. The Rams, I think, are still mad for what's happened the last 2 games to them. Comlow almost has it picked off. Mike Douglas was there, so was Mike Hunt. 53 and 55.
Tried to drill that one in a tight hole back there.
Hunt didn't play any in preseason because of recurring headaches, but they outfitted him with a new helmet, and that apparently solved the problem. He went most of the way last week against the Bears, and he has played the entire football game today. 3rd and 9. Detroit at the Green Bay 41. Jeff Comlow out of Delaware. Short of the first down, the completion to Rick Kane at the 35-yard line.
You know, Green Bay's got Terry Jones in there, number 63, to add to that rush. They're trying to rush 4 men and put pressure on the quarterback, get the ball back, and hope for some miracles right now.
I don't know if even you could pull this one out. Bladany standing on the 50-yard line. Angling it for the far side coffin corner, puts it out of bounds around the 10. No, spotted at the 12-yard line. I think she needs several Hail Marys at this point.
Yeah, it all started right before the half when Sims went down, set up the touchdown, the interception, the pass to Lofton. So the momentum swung just before the half.
Here's to good friends. Tonight
Hey,
is
Phil,
special.
I thought you were taking us to dinner.
I am. Okay, where is it? You're standing on it. What?
Hey, a clam bake.
I suppose you got Lowenbrow, too.
Yep.
You want the taste of a truly great American beer. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Phil, that was fantastic.
Hey, I only take my friends to the best places.
A super automotive value from Sears. Now get the Sears Heavy Duty 36 shock and save 40%. Smooth out some of the jolts, jars, and jerks with Sears best-selling shock absorber, only $5.88 each.
No matter what you spend on tires, you know you can count on Sears. Sears Guardsman Bias Ply, our most economical tire. As low as $22.88.
At the home of the diehard.
New quarterback for the Packers, Bill Troop. One-time caddy for Burt Jones at Baltimore. Now running the Green Bay Packer offense. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. And the Packers trailing 29-7. Ellis fights his way out for some yardage.
Of course, Troop had a big night. Monday night game against New England in the rain.
That's right.
Great upset. Joe Washington and Bill Troop made things happen on Monday night. You know, the NFC has really got some great running backs. Sims and this kid from Earl Cooper from San Francisco to go along with the Paytons, the Dorsets, the Otis Andersons, the Wilbert Montgomerys, the Ricky Bells. The NFC is stocked with fine running backs.
That's a very good point. Everybody's always touting the supremacy of the AFC in the quarterback department. I don't think they have near the runners. Andra Thompson on the reception at about the 26-yard line. And a lot of those quarterbacks are getting up in years.
And the NFC is starting to come in with some young quarterbacks. Bill Sims, of course, Danny White with Dallas, Sims with New York, Jaworski and Danielson's a young quarterback. There's some fine young quarterbacks, but the running backs, there's only one really explosive running back in the AFC, Earl Campbell. You got Franco Harris and people that can run the football, but exciting runners are in the NFC.
1st and 10. Packers with the football at their 26. Just over 3 minutes left to play. Detroit leading 29-7. Playing it very loose defensively. Harlan Huckleby, the intended receiver. Not much fun being a quarterback. Come in with your team's 22 points down with 3 minutes to go, is it?
That's not much fun being on the team that's down by 22 points, but it's...
I hate to show you what we're about to show you. But it is more bad news from Denver. 3-yard run by Matt Robinson. 12 minutes left in the first half. Denver leading Dallas 17-0. Again, we'll switch to that game on most of these CBS stations immediately following the conclusion of this one. Lofton, the intended receiver, couldn't hold it at the 45. There's been a lot of talk, I know, in Dallas this week about the problems the Cowboys have coming off a Monday night game on the road, then having to go on the road again, and Denver, of course, wanting to atone for the poor showing they had against Philadelphia.
Well, there's some merit to both those arguments, but it still comes down to the game itself, and teams have played well after a Monday night game. It's there is psychology involved in football, though. So Denver's a fine team coming off of a loss, and Dallas coming off of a win. But it's true throughout the league that things can happen. You look at the Minnesota. Minnesota knocks off Atlanta last week. They bombed this week, and Atlanta now's beat New England. So the NFL is interesting. Anything can happen.
3rd and 10. Packers at their 27-yard line. 2 minutes, 59 seconds left. Bill Troop looking for Huckleby. Incomplete at the 28-yard line. Dickey wound up 16 out of 30 for 174 yards. There's Bart Starr, center of your screen.
I think it's time to bring in Markle. I don't know if he can pull this one out, though.
Maybe he can throw. He can kick, he can run. He might be a triple threater. David Beverly in to do the punting. Long afternoon. And I think you're right. The whole thing turned around just before the half. Packers were leading 7-6. And all of a sudden, the Lions got those quick 10 points, particularly that last field goal. As time ran out, ball goes out of bounds around the 34-yard line. And the Packers never seem to recover from that. Giants have pulled ahead of the Washington Redskins on a 1-yard run by Mike Hogan. That plus the extra point puts the Giants over the Redskins 7-6 early in the second period. Again, our score 29-7 as Detroit will go into its home opener, its regular season home opener against St. Louis next Sunday unbeaten. They're not going to be sneaking up on people, I'll guarantee you, the way that Billy Sims has been playing football. Horace King out to the 36-yard line. In case you joined us late, Sims rushed for 134 yards and caught 2 passes, one an 87-yarder for a touchdown.
You know, you're talking about the Heisman Trophy before?
Yeah.
Can you name the other Heisman Trophy winners that have played for the Detroit Lions besides Billy Sims?
Now, I know it's in the Detroit Press Book, and I don't have it in front of me. But I can name several, I'll bet. Doak Walker. That's Leon Hart.
Right.
Frank Sinkwich.
Right.
How many more?
2 more.
2nd and 7. Steve Owens.
Right.
It was not Steve Owens carrying the football.
I'll give you the hint on the last one.
All right.
He was his namesake was in movies, cowboy movies.
Howard Hopalong Cassidy of Ohio State.
Great names in Detroit's history, and Billy Sims is living up to all of them right now.
2-minute warning, and we'll be back at County Stadium in Milwaukee after this.
Radio Shack announces its second major computer breakthrough in 3 years. First, the TRS-80 Model 1 personal computer under $500. Now, the new TRS-80 Model 2 computer, a powerful small business system that smashes the $10,000 barrier. Base priced under $3,500. Both offer disk storage, printers, and software. The new TRS-80 Model 2 business computer, built in Texas and ready for you to buy or lease at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Our truck runneth over. Our Toyota runneth over mountains, hills, holes, rocks, mud, bumps. Our Toyota 4x4 runneth over just about anything. What else would you expect from the son of a Land Cruiser but toughness? And what else would you expect from Toyota but total economy?
Oh, 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 what a feeling.
Tough truck.
Toyota.
Frank Lieber along with Roger Staubach. Walter Payton has just run 69 yards for a touchdown at Soldier Field, and the Bears are pouring it on the Saints. 22-3. Can't believe the Saints are having that many offensive problems this season with the firepower that they have. 3rd and 7. Kamlo.
That was nice interception right there.
Picked off. Number 21, Mike Jolly of the Packers gets his first NFL interception.
Jolly was a fine safety for Michigan. Sure he's going to get a thrill out of that interception.
So the Pack gets it one more time at the 46-yard line.
You know, Chicago had some problems last week, but they're a fine football team. They are high on their defense. Their offense came on strong last year, and they're going to be in the thick of it all season. So New Orleans is playing a fine football team today.
Bill Troop, heavy traffic. Andra Thompson is down to the 31-yard line.
You know, Andre was hurt last year, and he hasn't been in much of the offense today. We have a Lion shaking up on the field right now, but he's a real bookend to James Lofton. They have 2 fine receivers. Andre's got good speed, so if he could break a couple loose, it's going to take some pressure off of Lofton.
Redskins have scored on the Giants to pull ahead in that game. John Woodcock of the Lions is the player shaken up, and he's being tended to at the 40-yard line. We have 1 minute and 35 seconds left to play at County Stadium in Milwaukee. Big day for Billy Sims. That's what he did rushing, averaging almost 7 yards a carry. And then 2 pass receptions onto that, 1 for 87 yards, and he has scored 2 touchdowns, which gives him a total of 5 in his first 2 NFL games. What a start. For the Packers, it'll be time to regroup and get ready for the Los Angeles Rams.
I want to let Christy Danielson know I've been thinking about her the last couple of days, and I'm sure under some very trying circumstances she's proud of her husband today. He's had a fine day, Gary.
Packers trying to pick up at least a consolation touchdown. Down the stretch, they've got Ellis and Huckleby, the setbacks. Troop in trouble and buried.
Oh, Stan White is mad at himself. He came barreling through there, and the perfect blitz. No one touched him, and he forgot one thing. He forgot the quarterback. Watch Stan come right through here. He goes right by Troop. and he starts stomping the ground right after that.
Yeah, looking at Danielson's statistics, 11 out of 17 for 246 yards.
Yeah.
That's pretty good average.
Still first class there.
Per catch. And in both games the Lions have played, he has yet to throw 20 passes in a game. He threw 19 last week. Long throw down the sidelines.
James
And
Hunter's
it is
got
picked
that
off. James Hunter at the 20-yard line with the interception. The Packers turn it over.
You know,
everybody who hasn't head for the exits are off right now.
Ideally, when you're doing the things you can do, you want to throw the ball between 18, 23 times a game. That means your running game is smooth. As long as your defense is getting you the ball back, you mix up the run and the pass, and 18, 19, 20, 22 times a game is an ideal combination with the running game that Detroit has. And if they can keep that up all year, they're going to have a fine offense.
Well, he is right on with 19 throws last week and 17 this week. Danielson has averaged per completion 22.3 yards. And that will lead the league every year. Unless you don't throw an 87-yarder every game either. Here's Rick Kane. I'll try it the other way. Finally dragged down after a long run by Casey Merrill, number 78. Both teams playing their backup people now. Here's the clock winds down to less than a minute. You got to be impressed with the Lions. They are for real, huh?
I'm very impressed with the Lions. They have the skilled people too. They have a quarterback that's as good as any, and they have the running game now. Their defense, I think Bubba Baker's back, is going to add to that defense. I think their defense is going to be tested this year. That's the area that's got to kind of come together stronger and stronger as the season progresses, and I think it's a challenge for the defense to do the job because the offense is going to carry their load.
This will probably be the last play of the game. Great handoff. And Kane takes it out to the 18-yard line. That'll do it. Down to the last 5 seconds. And the Detroit Lions have broken their 5-game losing streak at the hands of the Green Bay Packers. And this young man again establishes himself as one of the premier running stars of the National Football League after just 2 games of his rookie career. 153 yards rushing last week against Los Angeles and 134 today against the Green Bay Packers. Packers 1-1. Lions are 2-0. Final score: Detroit 29, Green Bay 7. The NFL on CBS will continue after this word from your local station.
Be sure to watch a fascinating edition of 60 Minutes, the popular television news magazine that features Mike Wallace, Dan Rather, Morley Safer, and Harry Reasoner, this evening on CBS.